Yo, what is that meme? The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch. That's kind of how I feel like right now, Section 71. Yes, yes, John. Hang on, I gotta figure out which button I gotta push. Is it face cam or is it intermission? I think if I go face cam, it's gonna play the intro. I don't want to. I don't feel like sitting through an intro tonight. Hang on. Yo, okay, we skipped it. We skipped it. I'm less based than JDA and Razor Fist. Oh my god. That's a terrible, terrible thing, man. That is awful. You also got robbed. I don't think it's playing.
But also a censorious hypocrite.
Oh, it just was too quiet. Okay. Smeg, starting us off with the 5 gifted memberships. Holy crap, dude. You know, Yo, who is it? Section 71.
I declare.
Just kill the studio with your friggin' watch. Oh my god.
No, you just killed a studio with your friggin' watch.
With the Canadian 2, appreciate you, man. No, dude, honestly, I feel like I have to take some of the credit for Luna Abyss for their studio shutting down, but we'll get into that in a second. Yo, Susano. So I got Smeg with the 5 gifted memberships. We got Smeg with the gifted 5 Australian dollar redues, and of course, Section 71 with the Canadian 2. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to get screen switched here so we can actually play. I got to play his clips for him. It's been a minute since I've been streaming, so I got to figure out. I'm all out of sorts, guys. We'll get caught up in a second. Was that a loony or a truny? Or a toonie? Which one are we talking about? Yo, Lugia, how's it going, buddy? All right, so this one is for Smeg for the 5 gifted. Here you go.
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that, Hassan Piker. I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house.
Or in the ring.
No, in real life.
Still clinging on the hopes that you'll get a proper Forspoken sequel. Dude, that's never going to happen. Oh my god. It's called Looney Toonies. Oh, okay, got you. Well, Korean Cowboy, it's a little it's like half sarcastic, half semi-serious. So we'll get into the Luna Abyss stuff before we cover all the other games and studios that are being canceled or shut down. Because I think the Luna Abyss stuff is the most relevant to my coverage of all this stuff. But no, so hang on a second. Hey, why is that stuck? I see you there. Worked for EA. We killed more games in a year than anyone else when I worked there. Oh my, I believe it, dude. I believe it 100%.
Bankruptcy!
YouTube's new layout has dropped my vid's frame rate and buffers every freaking 30 secs.
Are you serious? I noticed that they were changing some shit. I didn't realize that they were changing the entire layout.
How much you care. It is like this tangible thing that you can point to.
Yo, DB,
say,
oh my
hey,
god, the
I love
passive-aggressive comment.
This many dollars worth.
Just wanted to toss this your way so you got some real money in a dono.
Oh
Enjoy.
my god, dude. Shots fired over at Smeg. Holy crap. DB, you don't have to, buddy. I appreciate the hell out of you, though. McKinney, hey guys, finishing a very late 40-minute video. Oh, you're pulling a Decembro over there. All right, I see how it is. Dude, I was actually watching one of Dez's new videos. Earlier today, I was like, I don't really feel like watching videos, but I put it on the way to work, listening to it in the car. And, honestly, I love Dez, but he could probably shave off about 10 or 15 minutes of his videos if he wanted to, but I know he loves, like, ranting. Still waiting for a sequel for Days Gone. So, DB, appreciate you for the 5, dude. I don't know. What should I play for DB? What do we have for him? Hell, we'll just go with the good old classic right here.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
A lot of these woke devs are getting killed off because finally Xbox is losing a lot of money for real, dude. Hey, Oblivion! Where do you think we move to when mass surveillance gets implemented? Argentina? Why Argentina? Wouldn't you rather go to, like, El Salvador or some shit like that? I don't know. Okay, I think that was all the supers and the gifted. Okay, here we go. All right, so...
Presents.
Yo, okay, you guys gotta stop.
Show someone how much you care. It is like this.
I've already made more than either DSP or the
say,
quartering
hey,
in a single stream, I'm sure. You gotta stop, guys.
$20 worth.
Here's some buckaroos for your medical expenses.
Medical expenses. Honestly, dude, I'm okay as far as that goes. And appreciate you even mentioning that. No, for real, my back is feeling better. If I could just stop working so damn hard, I'd be 100% right now. I'm getting into physical therapy, hopefully at some point in the near future. I already did my whole round of steroids. I'm trying not to take the muscle relaxers so I can sit without it being super uncomfortable. I've been working my ass off all week. That's why there's been no videos. There's been, extra all-star softball and baseball practices. I've had to help either drop the kids off or pick them up or wait around for them. So I've been like out late the last 3 nights in a row. I was at work till like 2 hours ago, came home late and had dinner. So I've just been working my ass off. I'm going to be getting home around 9 o'clock tomorrow night from work tomorrow. So overall, I'm physically doing better than I was, let's say, a week ago. But yeah, it's a work in progress. Oh, Makini, there's way too much going on. I could have made like 3 separate videos if I had time. And the one I really wanted to make a video on was the whole Luna Abyss thing, because my tweet showing the video, showing the they them crap in the game got like 180,000 impressions. That was the one that everybody used in all their coverage of it. So I do feel kind of personally responsible. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, gay, exactly. No, I still have ass. I'm still cheeked up. Don't worry, Smeg. I still got cake. That's gay. Anyways, no, so my video covering it, I think it did like 25,000 views or whatever. And most of the comments were people saying, oh yeah, I saw this game. I thought about picking it up. You just saved me money. So I do feel personally like I had a hand in the game or the studio getting shut down. I'm going to say a small part. I'll take a little bit of credit. So as far as the title of the stream goes, I shut it down with my mind or whatever. It's respect level has gone down. I still got cake. Wait. Shouldn't your respect level go up? You don't like a streamer with a fat ass, or is it just that you're only into women? Is that what it is? Yes, Tsunomics, all my fault. Exactly. We need to increase the kill count. Attack Arcane next. I'd have to even have time to look at what games they have coming out, who's making them, all that shit, dude. Honestly, I have no time at all.
I declare.
Okay, what do you got? You say, guys, stop. Save your money.
Here's some cheddar for being based.
Did it just ate? Oh my god, Wagon Burner, you just ate Section 71's super chat. No. Okay, hang on a second. Hang on, let me replay this one. There we go.
Declare bankruptcy!
Y'all gotta stop.
Do you think the Xbox CEO is a pro-tier plant? So no one can criticize the layoffs. BC, it's a woman and a minority making the calls, the shots.
Section 71, I don't know what the deal is with Asha Sharma, I think her that last name is, I can't remember, because on one hand, I was very critical of the fact that she had 0 experience, she was coming in from AI, and she ultimately was like, it seemed like a diversity hire, right? And you go, well, we just had the diversity hire with Sarah Bond before that. But then it's like, she starts going in and saying all the right things, rah, Xbox, we're going to change the logo and get back to Xbox, and everyone's like, yay! And it's like, no, guys, it's still the same company, right? And then they just start like pulling the plug on everything, like slashing all this shit. I don't know if I should be impressed or just be like, this is basically inevitably what's going to happen. Do I think that she's like a figurehead so nobody can criticize them? I don't think so. I don't think Xbox or Microsoft really gives 2 shits about that. I do wonder how much of the recent decisions have been entirely her call or stuff that leadership has known for a while that they were going to have to do, but it's pretty fascinating to watch. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Yeah, layoffs are normal for the industry. Exactly. And then we got Wagon Burner with the 2. Here's some cheddar for being based. Don't call me based. Oh my god, dude. I remember like this time a year ago, I was like banning the word based from the chat because I'm like, I'm sick and tired of people using the word based for everything. It's like when everything is based, nothing is based anymore. Arcane has to go. I think you raise you up your respect level because the Luna Abyss thing. Maybe. Let's see. Hey, Hodor. Let me see here. Home based. Stream lag bad today. Maybe it's me. Maybe I should have reset my internet router. You're based if you live on a base. I don't live on a base. Oh man. They're normal. Most people don't really care. Just helps the hype cycle to pretend that they do. It is what it is. Skipping whatever took place. All right. I mean, it is entirely possible my internet's goofing up, but I did talk to my cable company. So the good news, I might have said this on Friday or Saturday whenever I streamed Fate Keeper, which, by the way, guys, Fate Keeper is only about 3 or 4 hours long right now in early access. It's $8. So if you pick it up now and wait like a year and a half, the game, once it's fully out, should be really good. The 4.5 hours of what I played was actually really cool. And if they really like go hardcore into the different like skill customizations and stuff, or like the skill tree and all that, it's crazy. So it should be really cool. That being said, though, I think I mentioned it last week that I got the internet so where I no longer have like a data cap. Apparently, it'll only cost me like $100 to have somebody come out and run cable to my office here because there's already cable on this wall. So $100, the technician can come out and I can have my router plugged in right here and I can plug my computer straight into it. So I might talk to the landlord and see if I can do that. Just saying. Better than X-Voto in that witch game. X-Voto was fantastic. You shut your mouth. No, Korean Cowboy. X-Voto was just bad enough to be enjoyable, right? Just bad enough. Let me see. There's so many games releasing now, mainly because a lot of these games started development during COVID. They're all releasing soon and rip the industry. Many studios are going to close. Dude, that's definitely what it feels like, 100%. I'm here, you talking placenta. Hey, Cage. Talking placenta. Holy crap, that's a new one on me, but I like it. All right. I think we are all caught up. I'm going to play one more video clip for you guys just because everybody was like freaking super charitable. Hang on a second. Wait. Oh, I know which one we got. Where is it at? Here we go.
All right, guys. Here comes the shower of support. All right, let's continue. Here we go. Okay, folks, welcome back.
No, said Leo better never shut down. Said Leo has to survive because I need an X-Voto sequel. I absolutely do. You need another Sam Hyde too? I'll give you another Sam Hyde. All right. One more for you guys, and then we got to start covering some stuff. Where's my boy?
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hassan Piker? I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house. Or in the ring. No, in real life.
All right. So are we already like half an hour in and I haven't even covered anything yet? I think so. What time is it? 9:30? We're only like 20 minutes in. Does DSP like getting golden showers too? He probably gives them to himself. Oh my God. There's a mental image for you. DSP is like, okay, never mind. I'm not going to finish that thought. Okay. Anyways, moving on. He'd have to be, yeah, Susano, I'm not, no. Anyways, not going to go detail on that one. Yeah, I'm sorry, Susano. I'm so sorry. Hey, Vernum. It's called a golden rage baiting girlfriends just turned on the PS5. I mean, to be fair, there are some funny ones in here. You know, this is usually shit that I play on like a Monday stream, guys. But because we didn't stream Monday, because I'm dead ass tired, exhausted. I mean, I got sat down at my office at like 9:34 on Monday, and I'm like, is there any way I can stream? Is there any way I can actually make a video? And there was just no way.
Support shower. DB said you'd rather a golden one, but I won't oblige.
Oh my God, it's always a golden one when you're here. You know that. Okay, that's so gay. Never mind. I'm so sorry. I love that someone said that Sam Hyde scared the fuck out. No, dude. Sam Hyde would have fought him like 5 years ago, whenever that was. And the whole time, Hassan's like, oh, why would I do that? And it's like, come on, man. Stop being a pussy. You're like Mr., tiny head with these big arms. You could take a few hits. Come on. Such a warm comment. Yeah. All right. What's all this talk of R. Kelly? I don't know. Man, we got to change topics. No more. I'm never playing the golden shower support clip ever again.
It was perfect. It's like change my flight.
Now, I will say I don't think I've ever walked over my wife and farted right in her face. Maybe. I don't know.
The number, do you...
George.
Hey, George who?
Bush.
Stop!
Oh my God, that's a terrifying face. Crop dusting. Yo, this one here cracks me up, and thanks again for the 5 Smeg. Appreciate the hell out of you, man. This one here cracks me up. I cannot believe that she didn't like full on just like go psycho on him.
A little one though. I'm hungry. No! You literally have the same thing.
Look at her picking out her new ride.
Besides the obvious, what's one thing you would change about yourself? No, you know, like...
What's the obvious?
Oh my god, some of these just kill me. Now this one's, that is so evil. That is so evil. Oh my god. The monkey one was funny. That one's so evil. Yeah, her new ride, that was pretty good. This one, 1000% is something I would do to my wife. I used to, anytime, because we worked separate jobs, different times, anytime she'd come home, I'd hide around like the side of the bed or whatever, and I would jump out and scare the shit out of her. I'm not even kidding.
This hand signal is the sign for being abused. If you're ever in a situation where you're being abused, do this.
All right.
Oh, that's really good.
What was this one? I don't understand. Is something wet on the floor? Why is there something wet on the floor? Hang on. I don't get it.
All right.
Oh, that's really good.
What was he supposed to be doing with the towel?
It's fucking nasty.
Oh.
Don't ever do that shit again. Do you hear me?
He's in a cold shower. Dude, this one here, he knows it's over. He's like, I'm gonna have like 5 seconds to maybe run and rethink my entire life, or if I'm stuck with her, she's gonna fucking kill me. Like this right here is the look of man that's, yeah, no. Yeah, a little aggressive, like holy crap. All right. No, I saw these and I had to share. Yeah, I mean, this poor guy, his entire life just flashed before his eyes. He's like, this is what I have to look forward to. That girl's psycho. She's one of those ones that's probably like just crazy enough to, you know. I don't even need to say it. Let me see. Oh God, Burner, what did you just send me? Yo, is that freaking? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'll try to remember to pull that up in a minute. Oh, okay. Anyways, a lot of these are the reason I'm single. I'm okay with that. Yeah. All right. So somebody brought it up. I know Smeg mentioned it, how I'm not as based as JDA or Yorch and the rest of these guys or Razor Fist. So a couple of days ago, there was a screenshot of this list that Yorch Torch Games had made going around Twitter. And people have been screenshotting it, people who are fully leftist woke, you know, libtards, and people who are anti-woke who are just not in line with Yorch, I guess. And everybody was sharing it around. And so I took the screenshot and I'm like, I didn't even go to Yorch's page and screenshot it myself. I just downloaded the screenshot from somebody else. And I'm like, yeah, this list is the most retarded thing I've ever seen. It's stupid. It was literally meaningless, right? Definitive list of based. Yeah, V's on there. I mean, it's crazy. Calling the dude who's making a literal hentai game censorious is wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, Smeg, exactly. Yeah, DB Wild, do you realize? I'm pretty sure you remember because you've been here a long time. I was one of the 13 people on that list Mercante made back in the day. Okay, if we're going to go back to the original, like, kickoff of Gamergate 2 and the people who were on the list, your boy here is one of them. All right, so very fascinating that everybody's making these lists. Now, I did one a while back just to piss off everybody because one of the retards, like the K-Med guy, was basically like, oh, you know, if you want to have a better life, block these 15 or 20 accounts or whatever. And so I did the inverse of that, and I did the exact same thing, and I was just, you know, memeing on him, basically. We need a based tier list video. Nah, you're not going to get that from me, dude. No way. He went after Mugen Lord today, and I had to respond when he made that lie about Eevee and even Stellar Blade. I saw something. I think Mugen Lord quote tweeted something I shared. I didn't catch it in time. I don't know. I was the one who deciphered the list. I think I still have that in my bookmarks, dude. I think that's the tweet from you that I still have. Yeah. It was either you or Master of the TDS that I have it bookmarked from. I got to turn my heat pad back on. Not adding the pretend Christians into the censorious list is just retarded. Explain this to me. This list previously, in fact, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go back and find the original one that started all this, because this is the fascinating part, right? Hang on a sec. Let me just search on my profile for. I don't talk about him often. I don't have him blocked. I just usually mute him. Hang on. Should pop up pretty easy here. I guess I didn't say Yorch in it. List. Latest. Oh, here we go. All right. So this is the one right here. And it was a pretty simple statement of mine. I said, I've been seeing this tier list going around. It might be the most retarded, nonsensical shit I've ever laid eyes on. I'm genuinely impressed. And what it has is, on the woke side, you've got Kate Bush's husband, airbagged, complete piece of shit. David Jaffe, we all know about David Jaffe. This MG3D guy, he's like a super soy leftist, like Sony shill, I want to say. And Mighty Keef, who is just, if you don't know Keef, he's like Khalif Adams or a lot of those other guys, where it's, if it doesn't push like racial identity and leftist politics, well, then it's not for him. You know, he's all about like supporting all these games and shit that are all like pushing an agenda, and then pretending that they're not pushing an agenda. You're still not on the list. I thought you put yourself on a list, man. He's doing the same thing he despises the other side for doing. I mean, dude, Yorch has no actual ethics or morals whatsoever. Like, if I wanted to say what I actually thought about Yorch, I'd get banned off YouTube. TDS posted it, then went on vacation. Since he was gone, I broke it down and shared. Oh, okay. Now I got you. So, under woke, it says censorious, alarming hive mind, and industry access. David Jaffe created a game series. It's kind of obvious that he's going to have industry access because he was part of the industry. Like, I understand criticizing people who get industry access for, you know, shilling for things. I'm only going to say nice things about this and then I'll get access because of it. Like, journalists do that all the time. But David Jaffe was a literal game developer. Game developer. Hello. So I don't know. Not to mention, like, the airbag guy, I'm pretty sure he's like a trust fund kid that lives in his parents' like mansion but in a gated community. I don't think he has industry access. He just has like all the journalists following him and shit. So I don't know. So why did he post this in the first place? Does he have to bone to pick? Because Yorch is retarded. I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to show you why. Hey, Dislife. Over on, was that Rumble or Kick? That's over on Rumble. Have access, it's easy, you just talk. Yeah. He does create his own niche. Here's the thing. He then has faux anti-woke woke light. This Sir D account, I've just seen posts from theirs on Twitter. I don't even think I follow him. Never seen anything that I would strongly disagree with from this person. V, I don't even understand how he's on the highly censorious list. And Demion cracks me up. I'm like, okay, and Demion, you can call him a shill, I guess, because, you know, when it comes to 007, he was praising it, but whatever. It's like, okay, that's one game out of a million that he hasn't liked. I don't understand. Packer Girl, this is because she hates JDA. This is because she hates Yorch. So they have her on this list. And she's not censorious at all. She's actually like pro everything that some people would want to censor. Yo, Makini with the 10.
My correction. Muggin Lord responded to
Lord,
Yorch
oh my God.
going after Cassie, and Packer Girl screenshotted those disgusting comments that he and John Della Backhole made towards her. This is a true grifter.
Yes, exactly, Makini. It's 100%. So the thing about that is, anybody who ever crosses them in any way, slightly disagrees with them in any way, is just one of those, oh, you are now an enemy. You're not true based or true anti-woke or whatever. It's just crazy. You didn't notice that's V, yeah. Thank you for the 10, buddy. Appreciate the hell out of you. But that's how it rolls. And so they'll go after Cassie. They'll go after Packer Girl. They'll go after J Viper. They'll go after Leon, Words of Paradise, who is like one of the least censorious people that you'll ever meet. Like, he and I have had conversations about a lot of like stuff that you could describe as objectionable material, and have still said, if it's not illegal, I don't think it should be censored, which is kind of where I stand on most things. List is gay. It's gay in so many ways, Mr. Hardcore Mode. Why aren't you on this list, man? Come on. Surprised LD's not on the list. I think because LD is too big to give a shit about anybody else on this list, to be fair. I mean, and again, I'm not happy about like the fact that Legendary drops. He was at Summer Game Fest and he's tagging all these people like Mighty Keef and what was his name, Dustin Legary or whatever, and all these others. Oh, these people that he was rubbing elbows with. It's like, I thought you were like one of us, like one of the small people, right? Desperate for industry access. I want to know why he thinks that Packer Girl or V or Leon or J Viper is desperate for industry access. Now, as far as like the fact, all of this I think revolves around the fact that Endymion, who I don't even watch his shit, guys. I don't really like Endymion. Because one time he covered a video game 007 First Light that he gave positive reviews to. Now he's got, he's desperate for industry access. Look, I could have gotten a free copy of 007. Through the whole Keymailer thing, I was able to join the IO Interactive partner program. And if I covered enough of their content, they would have given me a free key. Guess what? I didn't want to. I didn't give a shit. So for me, it's like the game looked boring. I had no interest in it. And they just did enough of like the stupid, diversity, race swapping crap in the game. And the game looked boring. It just wasn't for me. So I didn't care, But if I wanted industry access, guess what? I absolutely could have gotten a free key of the game. Buffering every 5 seconds. Oh my God. Yeah, he doesn't get involved in the culture war stuff, exactly. Make gay marriage illegal again. So Dislife, I have a different take on that. I don't give a shit if the government wants to say two people can have a quote-unquote civil union or marriage, whatever they want to call it. I think the church, like church marriages, like religious ceremonies, the actual act of marriage should be a religious institution and the government should have no say in it. So if you want to get, again, legally attached to somebody, that should be through the government. An actual marriage should be ordained only through a church or a religious organization. I don't know. It's more nuanced than that, obviously. But at the end of the day, guess what? The government allows a lot of things that I think should be illegal, and at the same time makes certain things illegal that I think are completely retarded, that should have no regulation on them whatsoever. It is what it is, Anyways, conservative or their own niche. Razor Fist, John De La Rose, Yorch Torch Games, John Douglas, who's a writer who I think he's still friends with John De La Rose, but he's a writer and a YouTuber. I don't know Revy. I don't know this Tokyo's Daughter account. I've come across it 1 or 2 times. It's probably a dude catfishing as a woman. This mad curious person doesn't get into culture war stuff. And then there's K-Med, who he plays like the center left. Well, I'm not going to promote something just because it has diversity, but I'm going to attack all these angry incel misogynists because they deserve to be attacked. It's like, it's the same thing as you can't have same-sex marriage at a church, do it via mail-in or a small gathering. Well, it depends on the church, Mr. Hardcore Mode. I mean, the thing is, there are certain churches like, I think Episcopalian, Catholics and stuff have started to allow gay marriages. My thing is more, I just don't think marriage as a religious institution should be governed, by the state, whatever. Sounds like the quartering. He's like, K-Med is like the left-wing version of the quartering. And I say that knowing that the quartering is pretty left-wing, or at least moderately left-wing, K-Med's just an idiot. He's an asshole. Why are you gay? I don't know. Black Crown was John Douglas? Okay, that would make sense then. That why I know the name. He followed me, or I followed him a while ago. When I was in the Slack chat for Fandom Pulse long before it went to Substack, I think John Douglas was in there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he put himself on the list. Okay, so Lugia, here's the thing about Yorch. You were asking me a while ago why I don't like Yorch or what the deal was with Yorch. JDA is an asshole narcissist. Whether you agree with 90% of his views or not, the man is so full of himself, he can't see daylight past his own head up his ass, okay? He's that far up his own ass. So the thing about it is, Yorch called him out when him and Master of the TDS had their falling out, and John De La Rose tried to play the whole Jewish thing like, oh, but you should understand, TDS, what I'm going through because this is like my own Holocaust, right? At that point, everybody called JDA out for being an asshole, and Yorch was like, I can't sit by anymore and watch this. JDA needs to apologize to Master of the TDS, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? That apology never happened. I'm pretty sure. I would bet my life on it. In fact, I could message TDS and ask him. But I'm going to tell you that apology never happened. A few months later, Yorch probably finds out he's not getting as many clicks on his own, not getting as much traffic to his Substack, which we'll talk about in a minute. And he goes back to suck off JDA, the ID thief transfer guy. Yeah, and the crazier part about that is there's more to it than that. Yorch is the special needs Andy Pants. That's fair. Right, JG. So it is a case-by-case basis, I think. I don't know about that. I don't know much about the Catholic Church and how they view it as a whole, and I don't try to speak about it as somebody who's not Catholic. I just know that there have been stories about different, denominations or whatever, different parishes that have allowed it and ones that haven't. No. Tactical defense shotgun, I think is what it is. It's a name from a card game that he uses. It's a common misconception. It has nothing to do with Trump. He's a data scraper. He goes down rabbit holes. He's got a YouTube channel and stuff. So anyways, censorious under extreme circumstances or not at all. You're a priest in the LDS church? That's crazy. Total defense shogun. Oh, okay. Thank you. I was guessing. I was literally trying my best to even decipher what TDS stood for. Individualistic. Don't care about access, building their own thing. Oh boy. Anyways, it's okay. Gotcha. Yep. The funniest part is John Del Rose and John Trent, this time, maybe go back to like when Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 came out, were heavily advocating for censorship, saying certain things in games should be banned. Now, look, I thought the gay crap in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was done in a really stupid way, and it pretty much ruined the experience for a lot of people. I didn't care that they gave necessarily the character a gay option. It was the fact that they retconned Henry. And then, of course, the fact that they made it Henry and Hans. It's like, this is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It wasn't the standpoint of, no games should have any possibility of a character ever being gay. That was more of a JDA stance, which again goes back to the censorious nature of things, right? Ban this, ban that. That was him, not me. I wasn't calling for things to be banned. But somehow JDA and Yorch are not in the censorious side of things at all. Only under extreme circumstances, or not at all. Didn't ruin my experience, but see, Korean Cowboy, I was covering all that bullshit. I was having Leon under censorious is hilarious, right? If I wasn't covering it, if I was just going to go back to being normie, just playing games for the sake of just having fun and enjoying them, I probably would have been just fine, Oh yeah, Goonergate was definitely, it was a breaking point for a lot of people. So... no, it's not about the Trump thing, Burnham. It's not even connected to it at all. Guessing Yorch endorsed. This is Yorch's list. This is his list. Yeah. Anyways, so this was the list that he made. This was the post that I made fun of. And guess what? 2 days later, I find myself on that list that I shared on YouTube. This one right here. Censorious and hypocritical. So, Yorch Sear says, the faux anti-woke turned out to be more censorious than those they criticize. I'm still waiting for somebody to point out who I'm trying to censor. Or how I'm shilling for free keys. So, let's talk about the shilling thing, right? Mob tactics. I operate on my own. I do my own thing. You guys know, I pop into one or two people's live streams once every 6 months. I was on Smash's stream, I think, one time. Leon's stream twice. Moxie Dame, when she was still streaming, I was on her channel once or twice doing the whole Star Trek read-along thing, which was great. That was hilarious, a lot of fun. I do my own thing. I would probably have the channel growing better if I had more time to, connect with people and network and algorithmically boost each other. I don't do that shit. I've always been a loner. I do my own thing. I'm friendly with people. I talk with people, and I'll be supportive, but I'm like, that's it. I don't have time for mob tactics, okay? Except everyone justifies everything as extreme. Look at Keir Starmer in the UK, me as a bikini. Yeah. I wonder who invented that and how Twitter operated for a couple of years. Right. Shield for coffee brand coffee. Dude, don't make me pull out the founder's coin that I've got kicking around here somewhere, okay? I guarantee Yorch shills for keys. Well, so let's talk about that. Hypocrisy, I'm not sure what he could be talking about for me being hypocritical. However, shilling for free keys, I tell you guys when I get free keys. Usually it's to really crappy indie games that I'll tell you about. I'll put the description in the description for the video that I'm playing, a game from Keymailer. And then if it's a game like Luna Abyss, guess what? I roast the hell out of it. It's totally unfair to put you in that category. For starters, you're Narg. Exactly. Dude, I'm such a not a real gamer that my 11-year-old daughter is probably a better gamer than I'd say half this list over here on the based alternative. Okay, she gets that from somewhere, from her narg dad, you know. Anyways, so I recently went through and I looked through the list of games that I've covered positively or negatively from Keymailer or anywhere else that I've gotten a free key, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. They give you a key and you dissed Luna Abyss. Yeah, dude, I roasted the hell out of that game. Saved you from buying that game. Exactly, JG. So I don't quite understand. He's such a bitch, he won't put Asmon on here because he knows he'll get roasted. Yo, that needs to be a thing. Somebody needs to figure out a way to get the, you know, because Yorch's brain is full of worms anyways. Just get one of those little worms that tells him, hey, put Asmon on the list. Seeing that Smash isn't part of that list, you already know this is the fail list of tourists. Oh my god. What is that pink furry one? Is that one of JDA's friends? That's Revi. I don't know. Weeby Revi. I don't know who Vista Larga Games is. Game Character AI. I just quote tweeted them today because they're retarded. But I've never interacted with them really. Anyways, getting back to this, somebody pointed out that Yorch, it has a social media management page on something called Gumroad, right? I guess it's like a separate paywalled type account that you can get content or, advice through. Tutorships, I guess. Killed a Cajun here saying, what the fuck? It says $249 for this. Come on now, I can make a fool of myself on X for free. This was in a thread where Fandom Pulse, of course, because now Yorch and JDA are butt buddies again, talking about gaming analyst and developer Yorch Torch Games calls out CD Projekt Red. Okay. So Sir D here, who was on the list, says gaming analyst and developer Yorch Torch Games. LOL. The guy's neither a game analyst nor developer. ChatGPT created a garbage fixed vertical shooter using his Microsoft Paint art for him, and he had the audacity to sell it for $2. Apparently it's called Drone Lash, and he says here, this Ramazil guy says his game now costs $50. Oh, the quartering sucks, dude. The quartering is retarded. Why are there so many women on that list? I don't know. Women are supposed to be in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant, right? Yeah, Sir D says no fucking way. It's like, yeah, $249 for this. I clicked on it. This is a real thing. This is a real thing. So, Yorch Torch Games on Gumroad. You can go for social media management for $249. Here's what you will get from this individual. If you're struggling to grow on X or want to save time to focus on running your business, the Social Media Management Bundle is the perfect solution to help you achieve your goals. The Social Media Management Bundle includes 5 weekly memes that I create for you, 1 weekly long-form post that I ghostwrite for you, which he means AI ghostwrites for you. Post 5 replies as a delegated account. It also includes a weekly sync up and peer review sessions to create the best content for you. This man, oh yeah, scam. Okay, so Wise Ass Duck. This man, I don't think he's American. Just saying. He's got a funny accent. And again, I know a lot of you guys aren't American. I'm not judging you for that. It's just, he tries so hard to LARP as something he's not. Yorch is a chode. Yeah. I have my own social media management team as well, yes. This shit, somebody brought this up, I'm like, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. $250 for 5 memes. 1 weekly long form post. And 5 replies as a delegated account. Here, YouTube ran FIFA ads on everyone's channel search, impeding their would-be viewers or luring them away without paying them. The funnier thing about that, Oblivion, I actually had a FIFA mobile game that was trying to get me to, do, a 30-minute live stream shit. I don't know what they were going to pay. I'm like, you couldn't pay me enough to make me play a FIFA game. I mean, if it was like, hey, here's $2,000, do a 30-minute live stream, I'd be like, okay, I can pay rent next month, yay. But still, I'm like, I have zero interest in it. I didn't even respond to the email. I'm like, FIFA? Really? I know there are some soccer fans out there, no shade. Everyone likes what they like. But yeah, I didn't know about that, though. That's crazy. Actual analytic companies aren't bothering posting noise on social media. If you play one FIFA game, you played them all exactly. I want to point out the guy calling everyone censorious is the same guy that censors his real-life soy appearance behind a Chad AI picture avatar. Yeah. Yeah. And the crazy thing is people are always shitting on me like, oh, AI profile picture. I'm like, that's a very nice AI profile picture. DB Wild did a very good job on that AI profile picture. And besides, beforehand, I was just shit posting on there. I was changing my profile picture like every week for every different holiday. It's like, guys, you don't understand. I show my face on live streams all the time. I don't care. Like, the AI thing isn't to hide my hidden chin behind it or whatever. It's not like Yorch, who looks like literally like a human thumb. It's because I was shitposting with it. It's fun. Yeah, exactly, Section 71. He said that Yorch did some weird conversation interaction with his or her family. That was a red flag. That's why they don't get along. Wagon Burner, Yorch is a freaking weirdo. And the sooner people wake up to that shit and realize he's just a complete LARPing retard, the better off the entire internet will be. Even my crummy YouTube and X avatar is a depiction of me as equally as round. Oh yeah, dude, the AI pictures of Trump talking to aliens is pretty good. So, speaking of which, surprised Yorch isn't a VTuber? Okay, I think it was Leon on a video. Now, again, no shade to Leon, Words of Paradise, or Smash, or anybody else who does things differently now. I saw Leon had uploaded a video from his live stream. That, dude, I tried that one time. After I moved into this house and I didn't have time to stream or make videos, I tried I'm just going to clip a live stream, put it into a video. I hated it. I'm like, I'll never do that again. But so Leon had this 40-minute video that was from his live stream that he actually played a clip of audio of Yorch talking to some other people about how he got into Gamergate. And listening to this man, I'm like, he sounds like a freaking scammer. He sounds like a third world no good scammer. It's crazy. He doesn't do shit. Yeah, he talks and does fuck all. Exactly. Alternated Susano. Oh my god. Now we got two Susanos. Normally I don't use my actual pictures because it leads to the wrong impressions of me, even if I did what I'm doing in them. You know, the crazy part about that, dude, is the only reason I don't use an actual picture of myself is I don't take pictures of myself anymore. I'm almost, guys, I got it less than a week until I'm 40. Actually, I've got exactly a week, next Wednesday. Ooh, I could live stream on my birthday. My kids both have baseball practice, softball practice on Wednesday, but I could stream afterwards. Yeah, it'd have to be like 9:30, closer to 10 o'clock. But like, I don't take pictures of myself. I'm not some 18-year-old e-girl. Thank you very much. You know? Well, yeah, Wagon Burner, I have fun with it. Yeah, Grandpa Minimal. Hey, I've got it on very good authority that there's a lot of people here that are older than I am, okay? And the crazy part is when I talk to other parents who have kids the same age as my kids, they're like in their 50s and they're like, oh, you're such a baby. And it's like, dude, I'm like almost 40. What are you talking about? Yeah, exactly, Wagon Burner. Nah, he's not going to ruin the anti-woke Lucia because enough of us have called him out for being retarded. It's just him and JDA and a few other people, and they're all just gonna do their own thing. Here comes the AARP mail. Exactly. Soon will be an actual grandpa. That's awesome, dude. Congrats, man. I use here for AI generated content in my videos and streams. People sometimes ask about the AI stuff. Yeah, dude, the thing is, like, I have no beef with AI. Like, my only issue with AI is when you can tell it's AI. Is when you can tell something is like really poor quality because it was done artificially. That's it. A game and a nice dinner delivered. Nah, man, it's all good. I don't need anything for my birthday. I just want to stream just for fun because I always try to stream around my birthday. It'd be cool. I'll play the first 2 minutes of the stream will be DSP inviting Asmongold to his birthday stream earlier this year. That'll be fun. All right, so going back to Yorch Torch, game developer, expert extraordinaire, commenting on CD Projekt Red, I want to see something, because this is the post that they were talking about, right? If you go to most likes on the post, here's CD Projekt Red with their gay-ass logo here that they changed for Pride Month. The worlds we create are shaped by the people behind them, oh my god. They made an ass joke in the first sentence for a Pride Month post. You gotta love it. Gonna have pizza delivery guys show up at your place and offer you the extra pepperoni? You know, I got 3 kids, man. Now, nobody but me opens the door. My wife doesn't even get the door. It's all, if I'm not home, nobody's answering the door. But still, man, probably not a good idea. Matlock with a warm glass of milk. Yeah, Matlock was a little before my time. That was like one of those shows that would be on like reruns and stuff when I was a kid. Extra cheese. Oh my God. You guys got to stop. You got to stop. Anyways, bringing together individuals with different experiences, backgrounds, and perspectives helps us in our goal to create memorable stories that inspire gamers. This is that line of diversity is our strength, guys. That's where this comes from, you know? That's why we're committed to building an environment where everyone feels respected, supported, and able to contribute. We believe this responsibility extends beyond our teams and into the communities around us. No, it doesn't. You sell a product. You sell a product. You're supposed to make a good product. Your job is not to support your community. You are a game developer. Well, it's a crazy idea. Like, I swear to God, go back to actually just making games for your customers.
Hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
Oh, double fine.
Double fine. CDPR.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting blocked by these devs on Twitter. What do I gotta do to get blocked by them, LMAO?
Makini, I am not blocked by Double Fine. I didn't even know who Double Fine was before like 3 hours ago. I quote tweeted it earlier today. I'm like, everyone's showing how they're pre-blocked. I don't even know who this person is. Like, no idea. My view is most people freaking about what they're calling AI don't know what it means and can't do the work themselves. That's also very true, I'm sure. That's probably very, very true. And thanks again for the 5, Makini, dude. You guys have been way too generous tonight. You got to chill. You just put Az's video about this in Discord. Oh my God, dude. Don't mention Az, because that's going to make me remember that Papa Meat, Papa Gut, whatever the hell that guy called himself, that was trying to like debunk Az on Twitter like last week or some shit. Ugliest, nastiest looking guy I've ever seen. Looks like he needs his hard drive checked. Calling Az like a porn addicted loser and then talking about basically porn. So I'm like, okay, dude, you kind of called yourself out. I'll chill when I'm dead. Fair enough. I kind of feel that this week for sure. Double Fine used to be my nickname years ago because I'm one sexy fat man. Oh my God. Oh, that's crazy, man. All right. I got to finish this. I got to finish that. Hang on. That's why we're committed. Okay, communities around us. For several years, we've partnered with Campania, I can't pronounce these words because I do not speak Polish, Campaign Against Homophobia to support grassroots LGBTQ plus initiatives across Poland. We're also proud that CD Projekt Red was recently included in the 6th edition of the Diversity in Checklist, organized by Forum, I can't pronounce that either, Responsible Business Forum, and as in previous years, Reds joined the Warsaw Pride Parade. Oh, so cool. So your game developers from CD Projekt Red were at a parade where people were probably running around with their genitals hanging out. Cool. Great job. Very, very, very diverse. Very kind of you guys to do that. Young Yes sewing out over Ninja Theory being shuttered. Is he? Oh my God, I got to check that out at some point. I haven't watched anything from Young Ya in a long time. Long time. Almost a decade ago, they pulled us straight to 1.0 from alpha with an EA game, and that's when I stopped paying for EA. Oh, dude, honestly, yeah. Although, Averno, I did just buy Fate Keeper last week for $8, but I honestly think that game will come out in full, maybe like in a year or two, and it'll be really good. Like honestly, the 4-ish hours of it, yeah, we gotta ask Tekla what happened to Poland. Dude, don't get Tekla started. He'll tell you it's the Jews. Okay? Oh my God. All right. Anyways, so in response to this, a lot of people were getting blocked, a lot of backlash. And going back to my point about why Fandom Pulse singled out, game extraordinaire developer Yorch Torch Games. If you go to the most liked posts, now I've got him muted, but he'll pop up if he's even relevant in the post, right? All the responses to this that have the most likes, Yorch isn't even in the top 20. I don't even know where his post is. Here's Jay Viper. Here's me. I said, this post is the best advertisement for Don Walker I've seen yet. Keep up the great work. Pretty sure I got blocked for that one or for the meme that I shared that I had to delete. My account got locked today over a meme. Some asshole was like trying to get my account banned. $8 is fine for that one. It's a steal. Well, I legitimately think it's got really good bones to the game. It's going to be a lot of fun when the game is actually like released. As pointed out in Russia and the Middle East, CDPR does. Dude, yeah, exactly. Cage, that's been a thing for a long time. It's been a thing for a long time. Anytime there's a developer that's got offices in the Middle East or Saudi Arabia or let's say China or whatever, they don't change anything. They locked that post from replies. They did. Yeah, they shut that shit down. So they locked it, but then they also blocked a lot of people. They blocked me for that one or for maybe it was my quote tweet that was a little more offensive, I should say. But of course, Equilibrium, who I haven't seen in the chat in a while. Hopefully he's doing good. I've been seeing him on Twitter. Said, I mean, it shouldn't be surprising. And he quote tweeted this and said, the new CD Projekt Red community manager, you think some of the input complaints might get filtered. This chick here, Nara Lee, oh God, rainbow flag and a watermelon in the bio. Yeah. Women not taken seriously by authorities, met with disbelief, needing to be persistent to be heard, being a global... Oh, she's quote tweeting Alyssa Mercante over on Blue Sky. Yeah. So this is the community manager for CD Projekt Red. This is who's blocking everybody today, this chick. That makes sense. Yeah, community managers aren't devs, I know, but the company itself is in lockstep with this bullshit as well. The reason I hate when AAA panders to LGBT, I know Yorch and JD are going to claim they're gods. Yeah. Yeah, no, never perform. Honestly, the thing about it is, anytime it's easy fodder for JDA to be like, see, we were right about this. You guys were wrong. You should have listened to us. Like, everybody's been saying it. You know? Watermelon means that they are pro-Palestine. And to be fair, I am neither anti-Palestine or pro-Palestine. Like, let me get that straight. I think what's going on between Israel and Palestine sucks. I genuinely don't care who comes out of it, the victor. I want us to stay out of it. That's what I want. I want the U.S. to stop spending money on these godforsaken endless wars overseas. That's it. But the watermelon is people who are, you know, from the river to the sea. Those people who want to show with a little emoji in their bio that they're pro-Palestine. You thought watermelons for the end? No. I think Atreus has a watermelon and chicken in his in his profile, his bio. You thought it was a BLM thing? No. The watermelon I think is a pro-Palestine thing. I'm pretty sure. BLM is a black fist. Yeah, unless you're being sarcastic. You might be being sarcastic. I probably should have caught that you were being sarcastic about that one. What happened to good old watermelon fans? They ruined it like rainbows? Yeah. I mean, I like watermelon once or twice a year. I get burned out on watermelon. He does. You can even see on Yorch's retarded list. Yeah, he does. He's got the watermelon. Kada, another guy that JDA has called a diversity hire, diversity pick me or whatever. Yeah, exactly. You're never sarcastic. Saying, I'm just so tired of these companies thinking we give a flying fuck who they sleep with or what's between their legs. We care about games. We want to know about the journey of characters in games. This does bring people together, though, makes them all root against you because you'd rather virtue to the superficial than worry about creating good games. We're sick of it. I think that's very fair. Yeah, watermelons will be free. So, that being said, Decembro says, I remember the post Dash Attack's referring to. Dash Attack saying, remember the CEO of this company called Endymion a liar directly on X and denied that any of the DEI diversity pandering shit was happening at the company or influencing their games. Yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing that happened a while ago. Granted, I'll give Endymion all the shit in the world because, like I said, sometimes he's had some terrible takes and been like flat wrong in some of his research for his videos. But yeah, the current CEO of CD Projekt Red was like, oh, this guy's a liar. We don't have any diversity initiatives. Like, bullshit, dude. It's literally on your website. Oh my God, I went to the bathroom at work. I should post that. Please don't. Don't do that. The watermelon has become a symbol of standing with Palestine. Not sure why, though. I don't know. I have no idea why. Susano, I think it's important that you wear clothing at work. Unless you work at like a strip joint. Even then, I think that they have to have clothes on when they're not stripping. I don't think as an off-duty stripper, you can just walk around naked. I don't know. Never been a stripper. December says, to this day, I know we're not seeing the game yet, but as far as studios news goes, I've seen very little encouraging changes, only questionable ones. It was this one, by the way. I've still got the screenshot. We hire based on merit and talent alone. Yeah. This one here. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, the girls' mentoring program, diversity charter in Poland, all that bullshit. Exactly. Depends on the club. Oh my God. I wouldn't know. I can honestly say, at almost 40 years old, I have never walked inside of a strip club. The egg emojis. Oh God. Is that a real thing? Oh yeah, cracking the egg. Yeah, that is a real thing. My studio is a nude studio. As long as your studio is just an employee of one and you have a home studio where nobody else has to be there. No, Smeg. No. What about the juice emoji? I think you know what that one's for, man. Anyways, from the plate to the mouth, watermelon will be devoured. No, from the plate to the mouth, watermelon will go south. You know, bowel movements. Oh, never mind. Screw it. I tried. All right. So in response to this person here, Stellar Blade profile picture, it's kind of obvious, right? I'm telling you, Ciri is going to be gay, and we're going to see pride flags in the next Witcher 4. All right, first off, there will not be pride flags. There will not be pride flags because pride flags don't exist in the universe of The Witcher. Yeah, John knows. John knows. Okay. Anyways. The second part, the first part, Ciri's going to be gay. Well, we already knew that she's going to be bisexual in the game because there's the line in the third game where she says, I actually prefer women, or you can have her say that, right? So her bisexuality, while not canonically accurate, is accurate in the game, which is not, again, canon. The games do not follow the books, right? They come after the books in a universe that never happened, right? I left the BLM logo and memes channel. Okay, I'll take a look at that later. I don't have Discord open right now. I just generally try to not have it open because it's always like chirping in the background. No shame to admit, I do have enough digits to count the number of gentlemen's clubs I've been in, though very rarely haven't made it rain, let alone... Oh my God. You're that dude in the corner that they're all mad at because all he does is like try to get a free show and he never actually... Oh my God, man. But she got essayed by one. Yes. Okay, so... We'll get into that because I had a pretty good post about that. In the community notes on this one, which I have voted no on because they're wrong. You can see this one that says, Ciri has been canonically bisexual with a preference for other women since the original books. Completely false. Completely false. Like, if you're going to write community notes, try to not be retarded. In fact, let me see real quick here. Oh, this person has a writing impact of 5. That would explain it. Pleb. Okay. All right. Ciri is canonically bisexual. Wrong. Neither one of these is canonically true. So here, we'll go to my post here. So I quote tweeted this guy that said Ciri's going to be gay. And my point has nothing to do with whether she's gay in the game or not. Of course she's going to be bisexual in the game. The Witcher 3, she mentions that she's into women. Okay, so sure, she'll be bisexual. Now, whether you want to play a game where some chick that you're playing gets like dicked down by a bunch of like different guys, that's up to everybody else. You need to say, hey, before saying Ciri. Dude, I have never had an Apple product in my life, okay? Knows most of the dancers outside the club. I'm sadly the perpetual best friend guy. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Okay. Is she even human? Yes. Ciri is human. She is human, watered down, high elf, noble blood from like, you know, the powerful elves. But she is human, but she was basically created through a selected set of breeding. I've recently read all the books. Basically, the sorcerers and sorceresses concocted we need to have this person marry this person from this line here to create Ciri. So, all right. I said, okay, y'all really don't want to go down the Ciri is actually gay/bisexual rabbit hole. She was straight prior to being molested by a woman in the books and developing Stockholm Syndrome. The books literally end with her riding off to Camelot hand in hand, because again, she jumps from timeline to timeline, different universes and worlds. She ends up in King Arthur's universe, right? Hand in hand with Sir Galahad, you know, a dude, right? And somebody in the replies down here said something... The worst part, here it is. The worst part in that scene is that the girl who effectively rapes her says that it's going to happen either by her or one of the other dudes in the rats being the bandits that she ends up tagging along with. So she better chose the least traumatizing option. And then she grooms Ciri into a relationship with her. The books were wild. And I said, she literally takes the place, the woman Missile does, of a dude who was about to rape Ciri. But because it's a woman, that makes it okay, apparently. That's literally what happens. Hey, Empress. So for people who say Ciri was canonically gay or bisexual or a lesbian, it's bullshit. That is the only instance. Her and Missile, the girl from the rats, that is the only female relationship. Made you think of Highguard? It's AI, dude. It's AI. I generated, I'm like, okay. And it was Grok instead of Chat. If it was Chat GPT, it would have been a lot better. But Grok is retarded. So, sounds like their mindset, yeah. Whole modus operandi of their side, they convert children to their side by abuse or grooming. I mean, Where's the lie? So, in the books, Ciri, in the first few books, she's really young, and she's starting to have these feelings towards boys, and if she talks to Yennefer at one point about, she's going to have sex at some point. Sorceresses sometimes can't get pregnant. There's all these things revolving around, their menstrual cycle and their powers and stuff. Basically, when they use magic, I think it creates like a very strong period cramp type feeling is basically what I understood it to be. And so in that context, it's like Sirius has to be very aware of the fact that there's certain things when she grows up that she has to deal with. And that never once relates to her with another girl, right? It's always her with a boy, okay? She was a canonically abuse victim from a lesbian groomer, right? No, not middle, missile. Anyways, in the books, she has multiple boys, or as she gets older, multiple men that she thinks about sexually, right? One of them ends up being this elf dude who she ends up having physical contact with. There is nobody else but that one chick who grooms her from the rats that she is ever in a relationship with. It is always guys, always men. That's it. So for people who are saying it's canonically accurate that in the games she'll be bisexual or a lesbian is bullshit. I'm guessing like bristly flower. Yeah, spelled that way exactly. Type missile. Yeah, not like a rocket. MISTL. Anyways, let's move on. So this guy here, quote tweeting that previous guy is like, "You dumb fucking tourist. Ciri has been queer since her character was created in the books, LMAO." And I'm like, imagine someone getting sexually assaulted while going through a traumatic life experience and calling it a queer relationship. Not a great look. Because you also have to understand for context. If you haven't watched the show, which was terrible, but at least it roughly followed the books, or read the books, you wouldn't understand. At this point, Ciri has just survived going through a portal, thinking Geralt and Yennefer are probably dead, barely surviving, spending like weeks in a desert full of giant monsters by herself, finally surviving and finding people where she ends up losing her powers, getting captured by people who sell her, I think they try to sell her, and then she ends up tagging along with the rats, and then getting sexually assaulted by one of them. At this point, her entire life is fucked. Okay, her life is miserable. It's over. Everything she's ever tried to build her life to be is just awful. It's the worst. It's the lowest point of her entire life. And then this chick molests her. And that's it. Only read the first book, so this is news to me. Yeah. It gets up to the beginning of season 4 of The Witcher. So the first 3 seasons that have Henry Cavill in it ends when she joins up with the rats. That's when this whole thing happens, would be season 4, I guess. She ends up, in a relationship with the woman, but it's through Stockholm Syndrome. It's because of the fact that she basically has given up on anything else in life. Doesn't check sources and people run with false narratives. Somebody says something online and everyone goes, "Oh, that must be true. It sounds smart." Finally, tell us your favorite nerd stuff. Mine's OG Star Wars. Oh, no, it's not my favorite. Actually, the Witcher books are not that good. I'm not going to lie. I'm glad I read them. There was a lot of good parts, good characters. The books themselves aren't that good. Definitely not compared to like other things like Lord of the Rings and all that. Now, I'm curious about the Wheel of Time books. And then, of course, I'm almost done with the first Dune book. And Dune is actually really good. Like, really good. Wagon Burner, what I would say is the character of Geralt from the games and what you can do in the games with the storylines and the monsters and everything else is more interesting than the actual books themselves. I don't know. Book was written in 1986 under Soviet rule. No way she was written as queer. Exactly. Yeah, Lord of the Rings books are pretty awesome. Elric series, I only have read the first book, and that was good. The Elric series is probably better as a series than The Witcher. I'm not going to lie. That's one that Razorfist was probably right about. But I only have the first Elric book because I can't find them at the freaking used bookstore, and they're damn expensive. Can't wait for Colbert's Lord of the Rings. Get out of here. Yeah, Empress, the conversation online today has gone from CD Projekt Red is pro-pride and pro-gay to, well, Ciri's going to be gay because she's gay in the books, which she's not at all. Hey, QC jerks. Yeah, same age as me, exactly. 1986, there we go. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the game studio that I'm taking sole responsibility for killing with my freaking mind. Oh, yes. Dude, I cannot even believe that this happened. I wanted to make a video about this so bad yesterday, and I'm telling you guys, here was the way my schedule has been right now. I'll kind of give you guys a little summary, because I always talk about, oh, I'm so busy. Timing-wise, yesterday, I was at work for quite a while. The wife was, I think she helped me at work yesterday. I cannot remember. She had to come home. I think we took 2 cars. My mind is a blank. Had to get kids to practices, had to get kids from one place to the other, figure out what we were eating, all that shit, right? Yeah, not a good look for the alphabet group. Exactly. So, Dan Simmons books, especially the Hyperions. I think you've mentioned that before. So, always stop working. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm just going to be a full-time YouTuber, guys. I'm so good at this. Had no idea it was a thing. Oh my God, dude, this has been a thing for a couple weeks. So, yesterday when I wanted to make a video about this, I'm like, okay, so here's the way it's going to work. My daughter's got softball practice till 7. My wife has to get my other son to his end of the year baseball party. My older son has baseball practice from 7 to 9. I will get to the baseball field by 6:45, pick up my daughter. Her and I'll grab some food. I'll come home, make a video. The wife will be home by 9, and then, of course, I'll have a video done, and I can edit it, maybe upload it by 10:30. Oh, no, I had to go back because my kid's party ran late. I had to go back and pick up my son, who was supposed to be done at 9. They didn't get done till 9:30. I got back here at like 9:45, and I'm like, yeah, that video is not happening. The one thing yesterday that I felt like I really wanted to cover, I'm like, that's not happening. So, be a full-time grifter. I'm not good enough at grifting, dude. I'm not going to beg for money, and I'm not going to lie for money. So, what does that leave me with? Yeah, like sexual favors? I don't know. My body's getting old and worn out. No worries, Avernum. Thanks for hanging, buddy. Luna Abyss was fine. The game itself, it was fine. Too base to grift. Get out of here, man. It's enough with the base shit, man. So your channel's under attack every 2 weeks. Yes, but eventually that wears out. That stops working, right? Looked at potential Metroid Prime inspired game. Too bad its story apparently sucks. The story is okay. So let me tell you about this. The thing with the game, the story is decent enough for an indie game and for what it is, up to a point. Obviously, it's not amazing. It's nothing like, oh my God, best game ever, most incredible thing I've ever played. Story's fine, though. The voice acting wasn't awful, and I noticed right away the only issue I had with the voice acting in the game was the main character. The protagonist had a very boring, weird voice. Turns out it's somebody who's this non-binary voice actress from the Witcher show that thinks she's a they, them, it, whatever she is, right? My channel's under new management. There you go. Anyways, so that being said, last month, publisher Quali released their first game made in-house as part of their Studio Quali Labs' Luna Abyss, a first-person bullet hell platforming adventure game about a prisoner exploring a derelict megastructure. It was a decent enough game. How's the game? Better than Tainted Grail? I've not played Tainted Grail. So, Geek, the Fate Keeper demo, it's early access, but I'm going to call it a demo. It's only about 4 hours long because it only takes you through like the very early part of the game. Kind of gives you an idea of what they're going for. The full version, I think, is supposed to be out in like, I don't know, like 18 months or something. It is going to be awesome though. It's going to take some time. Yeah, Smeg, I don't know how this game was bullet hell. You were here, you were watching. It was so slow. It was so, like, there were a few moments after I got off the stream and the next day I played it up to the boss fight the next time I played the game. It got a little more intense. You finished it last week? Yeah, Empress. I thought Fate Keeper is going to be really cool. I think it's going to be cool. Bullet Yawn, it was not good. Why female characters had male voices and stuff. All right, so Cage, that should have been the first indicator for me that something was kind of off, right? I thought, well, you know, it doesn't matter because they are all disembodied consciousnesses, whatever, in, you know, robotic bodies. It didn't matter what the body was, whatever. So it says here, now it appears the entire team that made the game has been laid off. Over on LinkedIn, Quali Labs CEO Holly Emery, by the way, Holly, I think, is a woman who thinks she's a man. Beat the second try in some crazy way in a few seconds. It was awesome. Yeah, the second boss, I think, only took me 2 tries also. The first time I was surprised at how long the reach was on his weapon, but once you get the dodge time down, it was piece of cake. And then they were ripping him in half animation was awesome. Like, that was freaking great. Basically a tech demo for the price of a gallon of gas. There you go, Wise Ass. I think that's a perfect way of putting it. I'm hoping that it's far more than that, though. I'm really hoping that it becomes an incredible, like, at least 12, 15 hour story-driven game. The thing is, the skill tree is so massive in Fate Keeper, the way they currently have it, that you would have to be able to play that for at least a couple dozen hours to really start to get through the skill tree. So, I think I'm a dog. You're not a dog. What are you doing? Hey, Matt the Rat. Games to strap on as many labels as possible to fall into as many categories. I mean, that's not wrong. All right, Korean Cowboy. No worries. Over on LinkedIn, Holly Emery shared words of the layoffs, writing, "We are enamored by the love and support it received both by our industry and critically by journalists and media." The funniest part about this is that everybody has been pointing out that, again, the CEO of the company is saying, we've gotten support from our industry and critical support or acclaim from journalists and media. No mention of support from gamers, right? At all. Whilst we faced many challenges along the way, it's been the highlight of our careers, and we are incredibly proud that it's finally seen the light of day. Thank you to everyone who believed in us. Unfortunately, as of yesterday, the entire team has been made redundant, a decision that was completely outside of our control. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. As a result, the entire team are available for work as of today. She shared links to the numerous team members affected by the layoffs. I thought the studio only had like 9 people, so how can there be numerous team members? So the post is worth looking at to offer any kind of support. There was no indication as to why these layoffs have taken place, only that Emery was so proud of what we were able to achieve with Luna Abyss, and for such a small team in a genre, that's incredibly difficult to hit a good review score in. As is par for the course with layoffs, it's likely the game didn't meet some kind of target. No shit, Sherlock. 100% true, they should have said gamers. Yeah, like, aren't they the ones that matter? They'll get a job with Ninja Theory. Oh my god. Oh, that's right, JG, you only have a Steam Deck. No, I'm really hoping it'll be good. Yeah, Mortal Shell 2, Empress, I'm telling you, the minute that game comes out, I am buying that game. You know, it's just, it just hits me in all the right spots. No homo. Nothing sexual. Available for work, yeah. Except for the fact that we purposely made something as offensive as possible to the masses who need to buy our product. I mean, that sounds like Marathon, dude, for real. All right. So that being said, I put this out here on Twitter today. Of course, this was, for anybody who's not aware, this was the original video that I clipped from just gameplay and put on Twitter. And this is the first, I mean, this wasn't the first indicator that there was some funky shit going on in the game. This was the first time in the game that they explicitly say, yeah, we're going there. It tickled my nipples, yeah. So here you go. This was the clip for anybody who does not recall this.
That's a good job, well done, lass. Thanks for your help.
I'm a they, not a she.
Beg your pardon. I meant no disrespect.
So the thing about this was completely unnecessary, not anything important for the story. And then when you put it in context of, wait a second, why do all of the weird crab spider leg looking people have these big arms, these feminine legs, and every one of these spider crab looking things has a male voice with some sort of weird androgynous female body? Then you've got the actual they character. How long was the game? Or how was the gameplay? Honestly, Wagon Burner, it was fine. For an indie game, hey, Tekla, I'm a they. For an indie game, for what it was, as a game itself, it ran fine. It looked fine, in my opinion. It had an interesting enough story. I thought some of the dialogue was a bit cringe. Most of the voice acting was okay, except for the main character. You could tell right there, she has a very bland, annoying voice. In general, I didn't hate it. I was like, this is actually surprisingly decent as far as the game went. But as you go through the game, you start to pick up on these things. And I'm not kidding when I say 20 minutes after this scene right here. 20 minutes after this scene, you go and fight a boss. And when you kill the boss, it goes to a cutscene. In fact, I'm going to find it here real quick. Hang on a second.
How much you care.
I'm going to find it for you guys.
It is like this tangible thing that you
Yo,
can
Lugia!
point to and say, hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
Watch how much you want to bet that these game developers are going to fail up.
Don't they always?
They're going to work on big companies and get paid better.
I watched Dave Viper play it. I can say gender ideology is present every chance, in particular their character visuals and audio. Yeah, you know, Lloyd, the thing about it is, I might have just been kind of like ignorant to that because I was playing it due to the fact that I got a free key for it from Keymailer. And I'm like, you know what? I like to showcase indie games. I like to use them for background footage. I got, you know, the game looked interesting enough. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Why not? The cover art sucked. I looked at the cover art. I'm like, the character looks a little fruity. The whole like French outfit beret, the whole thing. I'm like, I don't know. But, you know, the gameplay was decent enough. I'm like, all right, fair enough. I'll keep playing it. And luckily, it happened on stream. We got to this point, and I'm just shaking my head like, I cannot believe I just heard that. But Lugia, thank you for the 5, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Wizard of the Coast is hiring. Oh, my God. All right. So 20 minutes after this scene, you find a boss, and you fight the boss. You kill the boss. Hang on a second. Let me see. Well, my camera's really high. Either that or my chair's really low. I think one of my kids was messing around with my chair. Let me see here. Let me find some gameplay. Because I think I didn't do this on stream. I'm pretty sure I fought this boss afterwards. Shirako, here we go. Okay. Shirako's got gameplay. Oh yeah, there you go. I picked up on some red flags immediately, but if you can still enjoy, I mean, the thing is, there are going to be times where there's a game that panders or maybe, you know, has a little agenda here or there. Chairs low. No, dude, honestly, like, this is crazy. Either that or my camera got messed around with. I don't know. French excellence, yeah. No. All right. So let me go back here. So in the gameplay here, okay, so here's the boss fight that follows this here. You defeat this guy, the tortured adrift, and once you kill that dude, it goes to this cutscene here where you kind of talk to this guy, William, okay?
Is Edwin with you?
Mind you, we don't know who Edwin is.
I don't know who Edwin is.
I need to tell him how sorry I am. Please, if you can just take me to him.
I don't think that's possible.
So again, instantly after you kill this boss and it frees the spirit of this guy, William, he instantly starts asking about Edwin. Oh, the gay love side story? Yeah, exactly. I'm like, at that point, in the last 20 minutes, we've had a character correcting somebody about being a non-binary they, them pronoun person, and now we have a gay love story. In a game that at this point had zero love stories at all. No mention of anybody in a romantic relationship with anyone. And of course, you also have to keep in mind that this game does have, DB Wild's talked about in the past, when you have like the church being the enemy. And there are ways to do it in stories that isn't like ham-fisted and like obviously on the nose, like, oh yeah, the straight white Christian man's the bad guy. Duh. But in this situation, it's like, so the church is the bad guy. This William guy is looking for his dead lover, Edwin. She's a they, them. It's like, okay, guys, come on. Come on, it's all, I'm a they, I'll have you know. Well, you know, Susano, I'm glad, and I'll refer to you as they when you're not in the room. How about that? No wonder this game died. Looks like the ending of Saros. Yeah. If your body parts can be interchangeable, your mind would be the only real defining feature. Weird mix between male and female characters is trying to send the message of symbolic gender fluidity and transsexual themes. Yeah, exactly. Didn't they buy this game from another dissolved studio? Yes. So what happened was Quali Games was formed out of the previous developer, I think it was, that was working on it. And then the publisher created their developer studio, which finished the game. This game, so we'll get back to my original point about this with my tweet here. Let me just pull this back up. I said, you know, Quali Labs has laid off all their staff just weeks after launching their gender-bending shooter, Luna Abyss, confirmed by a statement from CEO Holly Emery on LinkedIn. Next time, don't take 7 years to create a mediocre game to push your ideology through. And it's true, this game was started being developed in 2019. Okay, that's Holly Emery, the CEO of the company. Again, pretty obvious. Everybody at the studio is like that. I'm not kidding. Somebody on Twitter today was like, well, maybe that there's some good-hearted, talented people at this studio that, you know how to... I'm like, no. Everybody that worked at this studio was all, like, on board. They're all, like, trans, non-binary, gay, pro this, pro that. They're all the same. There's, like, 9 or 10 of them. Cage, that was a woman who thinks she's a man. 7 years of development. Yes. 7 years of development. No, their studio, I think it was like 9 people is what it was, but I'm pretty sure there might have been a few more than that. Yeah, so Luna Abyss Cosmic Horror Bullet Hell Shooter by Quali Labs was in development for nearly 7 years. Game originally began in 2019 under the indie studio Bonsai Collective before seeing a full release on May 21st, 2026. So, original script and voice acting, all that was not meant to code agenda, but when the studio changed up, it became one. It probably wasn't. You know? Nothing of value was lost. Yeah, this is one of those situations where studio makes their first game and studio closes. I mean, Smeg, I know you don't want to hear it, buddy, but the thing about it is, Haven Studios, the one that, you know, Jade Raymond, the co-creator of Assassin's Creed, helped found and then left before Fair Games even released, it's going to be the same situation there. It's going to be like Sedlio, and as much as I don't want Sedlio to shut down because I need desperately an X-Voto, 1340 X-Voto sequel injected into my veins, okay? I loved covering that game. If there's any grift in me, it was that game. That game made my entire week worth living, okay? I'm not even kidding. Because it was so much fun to cover, it was so much fun to talk about, and it was a lot of fun to stream, as terrible as it was. Like, I had so much fun with that, guys. You have no idea. It was so good. But yeah, so Sedlio better not shut down. Going back to the point about Holly Emery, though, talking about the love and support, y'all need to see something, okay? Love and support for a game that's got 12 people playing it. 24-hour peak of 45 people. You know? Yeah, dude, honestly, it's not happening, man. Yeah, Cage, I know you've got a soft spot for her. Main problem here, most buyers are like me. It's not like we don't have options as what to play. You felt the same with Reloaded? Reloaded has a better shot at having a sequel than X-Voto does. I'm just going to say that. Like, quite honestly, I imagine they probably... honestly, I don't know. Maybe they spent more on Reloaded because X-Voto had a lot of, like, that government kickback money. I don't know. Wonder if there'll be any more really cringe games. Oh, there will be. 100%. X-Voto didn't even give the lesbians their love scenes. I don't think it was because they didn't want to. I think the DEI incompetence caught up. Yeah, dude, can you imagine them trying to figure out the scissoring? Like, the actual mechanics of how they make the characters do it. It would be hilarious to watch. Like, holy shit. Yeah, huge success. And I was one of those 317 people. Because I was playing it like the day it launched. I got a key beforehand. I wouldn't have a channel without cringe games. Yes and no. You're correct about that when it comes to, like, the coverage of them. I don't usually play them, though. That's the thing. I don't typically play a lot of awful games. It's usually like once every 3 months I'll play a terrible game, and then I'll usually stream it for like an hour, and that's it.
You can point to and say, hey man, I love you. This many dollars.
Oh, indie is so bad, dude.
Even indie games are affected the woke virus.
Dude.
I am almost getting blackpilled on the gaming industry.
Honestly, Lugia, it's just as bad in indie because indie, there's total creative freedom with indie. So you take the good with the bad. So with indie games, you could have like a passion project by somebody who's talented, who doesn't have connections into the industry. All they have is their vision and their skill. And it turns out like a game like Schedule 1. Or, I mean, guys, I just recently saw that there was a game that hit like a million sales or something, shit like that, where you paint yourself to hide from some monster. Like you paint yourself in your environment and you try to blend in. And the game is an indie game that made like a buttload of money when it first launched, right? So there is a lot of you know, I'd say positivity when it comes to like the indie industry as a whole. The problem is that there's nothing stopping really shitty, awful piece of crap indie games from existing too, other than people not choosing to support them, right? That's truly all the difference is there. But thanks to the 5 Luigi, I appreciate you, man.
You can point to and say, hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
I got one recommendation that I would like to see you play. Motgorslice.
Oh my god, she just spelled it out. Motgor Slice? What is that? I gotta look that up. Hang on a second. Thank you for the 5, McKinney. Oh, appreciate you, dude. Let me look this up. Hang on. What is that? Let me just pull up Steam real quick. I got no shame. I got nothing to hide. I don't buy hentai games. Motgor Slice. Very positive. Released May 5th. Oh! You got the wall running and shit. Motor Slice. Okay.
This is Slicer P. Over.
I thought it was literally a thing.
I've arrived at the megastructure. Get in, eliminate the machines.
You're a gooner. I'm not shaming you here. I'm just saying I don't have any of that on my account.
That was the job. Things are never that simple.
Don't tell Yorch that she has a pixie cut. He'll call you a weak man and a simp. Yeah, Joe Darkness, that many. I was one of them. He literally looks like a child. Don't even do that, man. Not even as a joke. Yeah, don't tell Yorch. Exactly. I mean, hell, I'll put this on my wish list. I might pick this up at some point. This actually kind of looks like a game. I think that I think Decembro would probably enjoy this one. He loves like Mirror's Edge and stuff. No, not add to cart, add to wish list. What a retard. Here we go. All right. No, thanks for the 5, dude. Yeah, I'm always down for like new recommendations. It's just a matter of actually having time to play it, dude. Basically what to expect with Eevee and Blood Rain. Oh my god, dude. The whole non-traversy that he's tried starting with the whole Stellar Blade 2 shit is absolutely insane, man. It's so stupid. All right. So moving on, let's talk about some of the other, I guess, cancellations, closures. There's one that I didn't even pull anything up on, and that was apparently with Xbox shutting down a bunch of games and studios and shit. This is pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. That it's funny that somebody asked earlier about Asha, about what I think of her. And it's like, I don't know. It just seems like she's just basically doing all the things that have to be done. Not like it's even her doing or her like necessarily, I don't know. Horseshoe torch, exactly, dude, for real. But this guy, MBG, I believe he's a big Sony fan, saying this is what they started posting after 1 month. They never learn. I don't know who they is, because most Xbox fans, most Xbots were not thrilled with Asha Sharma as a hire for the CEO. Most of them were throwing their hands in the air going, oh my God, another diversity hire after Sarah Bond. We can't do this again, right? At least she's firing a lot of blue hair, still have zero faith, but still. Right, QC jerks, I will say that. You want to see me play ill? Well, okay, as long as you're not blind, forget about if you're still alive, as long as you still have, like, you can still say, oh, that's why I'm so freaking warm, my heat pad is still on. But hey, guys, I haven't had to, like, get up a single time this stream. Like, my back is legitimately feeling better. It's just not 100%, and because I've been beating the shit out of myself at work, I'm not giving myself any time to actually recover. So I'll be taking a muscle relaxer before I go to bed, that's for damn sure. They never leer, exactly. Outsourced Indian support. Oh my god. MBG is a pony equivalent. If we lejardi to MBG. Oh my god. I shouldn't pick on you. I know that you've got vision problems, dude. Equivalent. Gotcha. Okay. Missing a few arms. Oh my god. Every time someone says their name, I hear ass of shawarma. I was going to make a funny post about the shawarma thing earlier today. I just ran out of steam. All right. So what he's talking about, clearly, you can feel free to take stretch breaks if you want. Oh, no, Oblivion, I'm actually good. So what happens right now is I'm no longer in pain while I'm sitting down. It's just I'll have to stand up slowly and stretch my back out before I can actually walk around like I'm not 90. The back is getting better. My doctor got me a referral to physical therapy. I just have to get in there. I've called twice the last 2 days. I can't get a hold of anybody. And I actually, crazy as this sounds, guys, I was talking to one of these dads on my daughter's softball team at our team party, a couple days ago. And he was telling me that he takes these turmeric pills, turmeric, which is in like curry and stuff. It's a spice. It's an herb. Apparently it's good for back pain. I don't know. I guess I'm going to start smelling like curry if I start taking those, but I'll, whatever. Muscle relaxer sounds dangerous. Yeah, if I was popping like 2 every 3 hours, it would be. I'm talking like I take maybe 1 tiny little muscle relaxer at the end of the night, and that's just to help the back relax. I can't imagine it in tea. I don't know. Behold, I'm the way. Oh my God. He doesn't feel the butt plug as long as he's sitting, but when he gets up, it shifts a little. I'm not going to say true story because I've never done that, but I can imagine. That's probably true. It kills parasites too. Honestly, is it good for, is it anti-inflammatory? Because again, with the Crohn's shit, I should probably be taking that stuff anyways. If it's also anti-inflammatory, that's like killing 3 birds with 1 stone. In tea, I can't imagine in tea. I've had to use that stuff in blending like things for curry and all that for at work. And holy shit, I hate the smell of curry. Like, I can't stand. Oh, it is anti-inflammatory. Okay, shit. I'm going to get on Amazon and order some. All right, cool. It's spicy tea. Interesting. Use it for a kidney cleanse. It's fine with green tea. Here's the thing. I'm fine with like, I used to not drink any herbal or green tea. Now, there's no tea that I won't drink at some point, whether it's green, herbal, black, white, doesn't matter. I just don't love the flavor of certain things, Killing spree, rampage of pain reduction. I was going to make another kind of joke, but I'm not going to go there. Anyways, moving on. Ninja Theory being closed days after revealing new game, it's claimed. Now, kind of like the whole my love-hate relationship with Xvoto, and of course recently Luna Abyss, because I do have these games that for whatever reason I'm interested in and gravitate towards, even if it's because I want to cover them as they basically plummet into a fiery chasm. I'm just interested in specific things. So for me recently, it's been Luna Abyss, Xvoto, those kind of games. Hellblade is one that I'm very much interested in because I actually really enjoyed the first game. I know, unpopular opinion. A lot of people are like, oh, it's boring. It's a walking simulator. It sucks. Okay. I hear all that. I get it, but I enjoyed the first game. Played the second game. Hated it. Abysmal piece of dog shit. Like one of the worst things I've ever played. Just terrible. Ran terrible. Looked terrible. It was supposed to be like a tech demo, and it just ran like ass. The story sucked. Everything. Right? Yeah, I can. Angels. It's a on Amazon. They have like it's like 180 pills for like 18 or 20 bucks, 30 bucks, or whatever. But you can get like a discount if you get like 3 of them. So I'm just gonna have the wife start taking them too. She's got enough other health issues. I'm sure it's probably good for her as well. To maximize efficacy, look for supplements that include bioperine, black pepper extract, or patented lipid complexes like Mariva, which can enhance absorption by up to 2,000. So the guy that was telling me about it, he actually sent me the link to it on Amazon because he was telling me that he's taken other turmeric pills and they haven't worked as well. So this is the one apparently that works. So Boo Bad Company is nothing but trash and only has been making their only... making their games demos at full price. Exactly. Heavenly Sword was great. That's the thing. I didn't realize that they were the ones that made Heavenly Sword back in like 2007 or something. You could just eat. Dude, I have like 30 pounds of turmeric at work, but it's like, I don't want to eat it. Oh my God. Anyways. In a whirlwind day of news for a string of Xbox game studios, many have found themselves facing the brunt of despair as multiple studios sit on a precipice. The creator of Hellblade games, Ninja Theory, is also claimed to be closing down. News comes as several studios are reportedly fighting to keep their doors open under Xbox, a company hell-bent on restructuring and resetting to cut costs for the year ahead. Ninja Theory is the latest studio to be targeted by Xbox cost-cutting measures. Well, okay, here's the thing about this. The thing that makes this significant is the fact that they just released a teaser for Senua 3, Hellblade 3, And they hyped the hell out of this thing. I think I actually have... Yeah, I've got the post here from Nick Tech. Heavenly Sword was the proto-stellar blade of its time. Right, I kind of hear that. I love history and hate modern political ideology. Dude, join the club. I love history. DB, I've had colonoscopies. I've had prostate exams. I've had all the things that guys have. I've never had a suppository. And I would love to not start now. Just saying. Maybe if you live closer, I'd let you try. But nope, not happening. Anyways, Blue Sky Harpies were crying a lot today. Oh, dude, for real. Come on, man. Well, Angels, I have no coworkers. Self-employed. So I'd be looking at myself in the mirror like, what's wrong with you? I mean, my wife occasionally comes to work with me and helps me out. So wonder if stuffing food in your butt's better for you. Dude, prostate exams hurt. Well, I don't know how many of you guys are of the homosexual persuasion. I imagine if you are used to regularly taking objects up the rear, it would probably feel enjoyable to you. If you don't make that a regular habit, and your doctor is actually doing his job properly, it hurts like a son of a bitch. You would need to buy me dinner first? Yeah, exactly. So the thing about it is, the prostate, it's not just the finger up the butt, it's the fact that they're pushing around there to find your prostate, and then when they push on the prostate, it makes you feel like you gotta pee. It's the whole thing's not a fun experience, man. I've had like 3 prostate exams in my life. Most of those were related to bladder issues I had from my back injury. None of them were because I had prostate cancer or anything like that. I don't recommend it if you can avoid it. But you need to get that checked every once in a while. Ever had a urethral catheter? No, David, I have not. That was the one concern. So segueing, because you guys love segueing me, man. You guys love just segueing me on this shit. When I hurt my back, my herniated disc I have in my back, when I hurt it for almost 14 years ago now, what I noticed right away, besides not having any flexibility anymore in my lower back and legs, and of course, occasional like nerve pain in my thighs. My baby was like, I don't know, my wife was still pregnant with our first kid when I hurt my back. And then like 8 weeks later, he was born. And so if I was holding him for extended periods of time, my legs would go numb from the radiculopathy, from nerve damage, right? From my back injury. Another thing I noticed after about a few weeks of trying to go back to regular life was that if I lifted anything heavy, I felt like I had to pee. Okay. Yeah, we have topics once in a while. So that has been an ongoing fight for the last, I'd say, I don't know, 10-ish years or so. It's just anytime I'm sick, I can tell because I feel like I can't pee. And it's because my back gets weak when I'm sick because it's injured and it's never healed, right? Weird things happen. Nerves are strange, crazy things. When it comes to catheters, I was actually thinking about going to a urologist originally when my back injury wasn't being treated properly. I hadn't gone to a chiropractor yet. I hadn't done physical therapy. I was still having bladder issues. So I went to a urologist to have all that shit tested. They had me pee into a thing that measured how fast you pee and all that stuff. And he told me, based on all of my symptoms, based on what I told him, he's like, here's the thing. You do not have an issue with your bladder. You've got an issue with nerves that are causing other symptoms, right? He's like, we could do an examination, and they do what's called a cystoscopy. So endoscopy is when the camera goes down your throat. A cystoscopy is when the camera goes up your wiener. All right. Fun fact, I looked it up because I'm like, I need to know what I'm getting into if I actually do this. The man who described his procedure said that essentially it already hurts when the camera's going up, but at some point you feel a crunch and then it keeps going. Okay. Yeah. It tests the speed at which you pee to see how full. Well, they do an ultrasound after you pee to see if your bladder's empty. And while you're peeing into the thing, it measures how fast you pee, basically, to see if you have an issue peeing, I guess. I don't know. It's been like 10 years, guys. But yes, so I was reading testimonials about cystoscopies, and I'm like, oh my God, I can never do that. So I've avoided that. And I've also considered back surgery. And one of the reasons I've never had back surgery to fix it is because first off, it's 50-50 shot that it just makes it worse. And secondly, I'm pretty sure you got to have a catheter for that shit. So I'm just saying, hey, Kanyo, bad time to come in, but hey, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Lots of fun stuff. Dr. Botched It had to have surgery, worst shit ever. Oh my God, man. That's crazy. Yeah. So there's been a lot of way too much information, It's coming like a Phil Chan stream. I didn't know that he shares that kind of personal information. That's crazy. Have the stream pressure of a small fire hose, I swear. When I really got to go, the force of the stream pushed me back. No, honestly, guys, it's the craziest thing. So going to a chiropractor, doing physical therapy, all that stuff helped with a lot of the other issues I was having. Yeah, my back still hurts. I still have tightness in my back. Occasionally nerve pain. It's a bitch, but it is what it is. That's back injury. You only have one back, you got one spine, and all the nerves run through that shit. So when you injure that, your life is going to be miserable till the day you die. There are ways to mitigate it. There are ways to make it better. But, it's more about like managing pain or whatnot. But yeah, the bladder stuff was one of those things that I'm like, oh, this is new. This is fun. So yeah, like things like when I get sick, I know I'm getting sick. If my bladder starts to act up, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, well, that makes sense. Because all the nerves are connected, right? So if it was Kershaw saying it, you'd all be laughing. Technically, you're not wrong, man. It's all about how you deliver it. It's all about having, the right delivery. Not talking about a UTI. Yeah. And my forearm bent like a banana. I've never broken a bone. Okay, I know I fractured my wrist once. Probably broke a bone in my foot, but I didn't go to the doctor. I just dealt with it. Maybe a cane. Man, I could outrun most of you. If I was actually physically in shape right now, if my back wasn't fucked up, I could probably outlift half of you, even as skinny and tiny as I am. But unfortunately, a cane and a walker might be a reality in the next 20 or 30 years. Right now, I'm fine. When my back's not acting up, I can still outrun my kids. I can still climb, do monkey bars and pull-ups and push-ups and all that shit. So Empress, I've got a referral. I've got a referral to physical therapy. I'm going to see if they're going to do any red light therapy. So I could outlift Hulk Hogan. Dude, Hulk Hogan's dead. That's not funny. That's not funny. Oh my God. Drink water and drive on. Exactly, Susano. Exactly. It goes like a rubber hose. Oh, fuck, man. I can't even imagine. It's my knees. Joe Darkness, the thing is for me, because I'm short, and I've always, I have lived working on my feet my entire life. I'm talking, my feet used to hurt all the time as a child. I got to a point where I no longer feel them. I can stand all day long and not feel a thing. Okay. Invited Bulgaria? All right. Well, as long as my back's feeling up to it, we'll see. I can't sit for like a 13-hour flight right now. I'd be pacing the plane. They'd be like, this guy's suspicious. As soon as it come close, I'll trip you up. Fair enough. All right. Anyways, I can't even remember what we were talking about. From peen to butt to feet, going through all the kinks now. Oh my God. How long did it take? You know, I'm gonna need a fund for my kid if he ends up in the baseball World Series, but that's a month or two down the road. I was talking to my wife about it. I'm like, okay, if my son's team, because my oldest son is actually at the age where he can now travel out of state if they go to the World Series for Little League. I'm like, I don't know how we're going to afford that. Hopefully our local league, it being a nonprofit, will help cover some of the travel costs, because I'm fucking broke. I have no idea how we'd afford that. And I'd have to stay here for work anyways. I wouldn't even get to go. Tried to sue the doctor. He retired and disappeared. Oh my God. That thing about your feet might be why your back is so bad. No, Serrano, the back is bad because I decided to, okay, another segue. All right, nowadays he does most of his best work on his back. Facts. No, my family, we always worked, right? Even from the time I was like 13, 14 years old, I was always working.
Do I need
and
to be
so,
liked? Absolutely not.
21 months.
I enjoy being
Holy
liked.
crap.
I have to be liked.
That's insane.
I remember when you used to cover games on this stream.
I remember when... No, I can't even remember that far back, dude. Dude, holy shit, 21 months. I think you and NS are right at the same time, dude. I think you guys are the OGs. Crazy. Thank you, Smeg. Holy crap. It's been almost 2 years. That is insane. Wow. You put up with me for almost 2 years now, man. That's nuts. That's crazy. Getting back to Serrano's point about it, that's probably why my back hurts. There's a combination of factors. Working way too many hours, lifting way too much like heavy weights, you know, because we had a commercial bakery. So 50-pound flour sacks, 60 pounds of margarine, 60 pounds of shortening, 80 pounds of this, 12-hour days, 15-hour days. We moved our business like a dozen times. We had to move all the machinery ourselves. Did all of our own repairs at home. Like all this, the rework for like, anytime we moved into a new commercial space, we would just tear up the floors, do all that shit ourselves. Like that's all the stuff we did growing up, right? With self-employed family, you kind of just do what you do. And so on top of all that, working like 6 to 7 days a week, like 12 to 15-hour days sometimes, I was also getting into the gym. And so when my wife and I first got together, I was going to the gym like 4 nights a week. And I would go for like 2 to 3 hours at a time. I know, not recommended, but that's what I was doing. So all those combinations plus doing deadlifts one too many times one night is when I fucked up my back. It was self-inflicted to a degree. Obviously, environmental factors my entire life leading up to that point probably didn't help, but I just overdid it at the gym. That's it. Feet can cause back pain, but an actual evaluation has to take place. Well, I'm going to try to get a new MRI on my back once I jump through all the hoops and stuff, because I haven't had an MRI on my back in like 10 years. I don't know how bad it looks compared to how it looked 10 years ago, but yeah, the whole disc just exploded. I'm talking, you see, you got the spinal column, and between these two discs, or these two vertebrae here, it's all where it shouldn't be. So my back problems are because my bones are stuck together. Yeah, well, that's my brother. So my brother in Wisconsin, the cop, he actually has, I've got Crohn's, he's got colitis. I've got a bad back, he's got a bad back. He actually had 2 back surgeries. He had a tumor in his spine that ate away a chunk of his spine. Then he also had to have surgery for a herniated disc. Basically, he had 4 rods put into his back to support everything, where he basically can't bend over. And he's looking at maybe needing to have a 3rd surgery that would end his police career if he has to do that. So it's crazy. Oh, dude, Joe Darkness, exactly, man. Yeah, all that kind of shit. And it's crazy. You don't even think about it, man. It's just, you just do. And until the day that you can't anymore.
I have to be liked.
Yo, Angels! Appreciate the hell out of you, man. Well, not so minimal. All right, man. Appreciate you. Traditional baker makes you tough. Yeah, but it also, if you overdo it, it's just, I'm talking, man, We did far more than we had the capacity for with because it was a family business. We didn't have a whole lot of employees. It was literally us doing all that shit. For me, I started doing strength training, aka barbell training, caused the pain to go away for me. So if I can actually feel good enough to work out consistently, do like the core strengthening, back, muscles and all that, it helps. It absolutely helps with the back pain. The problem is you have to feel good enough to be able to lift, and in order to lift, your back has to not already be fucked up. So basically, I have to get back to where I'm in a good place with my back and have the time to sleep properly and eat properly. So baseball season has to be over. Oh, and I have to not be working crazy long hours and shit, which basically means all of summer. That's not possible. So don't exchange lifespan for productivity. Yeah. Well, Avernum, unfortunately, I don't have much control over that at this point right now. But dude, you guys have been awesome tonight. Holy crap. Yes, but getting back to what Smeg had previously said, I used to cover games on this stream. Maybe one day we will. Ninja Theory announces their new Senwa game at Xbox Games Showcase. 8 days later, Xbox is reportedly planning on shutting the studio down. How does this even happen? The crazy thing about this is somebody actually had the video clip. They put out a teaser for their new Hellblade game, like legit, a week ago, Open Pokemon packs on stream. Dude, I don't even understand Pokemon. My kids have Pokemon cards. I don't think any of them actually know how to play the card game Pokemon. They just collect them. I don't understand Pokemon. Like, I don't do card games. Like, I do traditional card games like poker and speed and solitaire and hearts. And we played Pinochle all growing up. Great game. Some of the more advanced card games and all that shit. I don't understand Pokemon. I don't get it. Also, you'll get better skin if you can heal your doggy someday in case of any pain in the joints. Empress, I know. I just need to actually get around to doing it. I was going through this list of shit I have to do.
A while until 21 months, but every journey starts somewhere. Lol, why did it say I became a member twice?
Because Streamlabs is stupid sometimes, and it sometimes messes up. I don't know if it's from the YouTube side of things or the Streamlabs side of things, but I appreciate the hell out of you, Angels. Holy crap, you guys have been way too awesome. Appreciate y'all. I gotta give you guys another video clip. Hang on. What have we not done recently? What have we not done? I'm not playing the Melanie Mac one. Hell no. Oh, I think this will be fitting. This is perfect timing. Okay, here you go.
Did I just do that?
Well, definitely with my assistance.
I did not just do that.
We did.
I just moved shit with my mind.
Perhaps our connection has somehow awoken some abilities.
I just moved shit with my mind.
I just keep hearing I.
I just moved shit with my freaking mind!
I've been waiting to play that clip all night. And it's perfect timing, too. Xbox's reset is looking like a bloodbath as key execs leave and award-winning studios face potential shutdown. The looming closure of Compulsion Games is likely the only first of mass layoffs at Xbox. This one I'm happy about. This one I am very, very happy about. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was already pissed off at Ninja Theory with what they did to Hellblade 2. And it's like, yeah, and you get into the individual politics of some of the people there. I'm sure it was all bullshit, all the DEI crap in it. Yeah, all that to be said. But I liked the first Hellblade game. So when I played the second one, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you guys, right? So I heard they're making a third game. I'm like, no, shut it down. I don't care. And then a week later, they're gone, right? Well, South of Midnight's another one that people have tried to spin as, oh, you guys don't understand. The story was so good and the music was so good and the culture is so rich and the gameplay is this and the art style is that. No, the game looked like shit to me. Looked like absolute dog shit. And then you get to the whole, oh, and it's basically a game made for journalists because the character's an annoying brat. She sounds like an edgy teenager, which I guess she is in the game. And God, we all want to play an edgy black teenage girl, right? That's everybody's dream for a video game. Oh, and then there's the fact that the boss fights are all skippable because journalists suck at playing video games. What else? What else am I leaving off? Oh, the fact that Sweet Baby Inc. was involved. They had to get a bunch of black women from Canada to make a game about the American South. Explain that to me. What does anybody in Canada who's not from the US know about the American South? I mean, crazy. I don't understand. I think it was too weird for most gamers. Maybe. The art style for me was the first thing I'm like, hell no. No, I killed the Luna Abyss studio with my mind. It was actually the fact that I covered it, and then I think Rev Says Desu covered my coverage of it, Smash, Vero, everybody was covering it. I got a lot of credit for that. And I'm not even kidding. My video didn't even, I think it was like 25,000 views on the video I made about Luna Abyss. But every other comment was, thank you, you saved me from spending money on this game. So, were they ever getting north of noon? Probably not. Yeah, South of Midnight was changed midway through development. Started as a young white gal and they changed it up to Pander. How can it be awesome? Also, you're forgetting the fact that Epic Mike knew the voice actress that they originally cast for the lead, and they replaced her with somebody who sounded more black, if you recall. Saw everybody covering your playthrough? Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that was pretty cool. So I take a little bit of credit for killing the studio. I'll take this one. I mean, I think I deserve a little bit of the credit. None of these companies make good characters. No, they don't. They don't know how to make good characters. Things are not going well at Xbox. I don't know, guys. Let me ask. Let me put this on a poll. Let me try this. Are things going well? I want your genuine opinion. Like, based on what we're seeing the last couple days with all these closures, right? Are things going well at Xbox? I don't mean, oh, they're closing studios. Look, Xbox is failing. No, I mean like everything that they've done. You know, closing studios that aren't making games that make money. Reducing the price of Game Pass. Doing all these things. Now, obviously, the Game Pass thing is debatable as to whether or not Game Pass is killing their entire games market. But like, I don't necessarily think that things aren't going well at Xbox per se. I think it depends on how you look at it. No, but from an objective stance, because they said they aren't, it's more of a fact they're not. The original voice actor for the black teen was a young black gal, but she sounded too white. Yeah, that's crazy. What's Xbox? Smeg is over here like, PC Master Race, bitch. Loaded question. They're doing as well as they're excising the tumors. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I love that people fell for Asha Sharma's promises. You know, I'm sitting back going, I generally don't know. I have no idea what is going to happen with Xbox, right? Microsoft may be shutting down Compulsion Games studio behind South of Midnight and We Happy Few. Okay, anybody here play We Happy Few? I've never played it. Again, fake gamer, I don't care. But like, people say that We Happy Few is good. I've never played it. Studio leadership is currently in some form of negotiations with Microsoft. Same thing with Ninja Theory. South of Midnight released last year to general praise. Again, the same shit they said about Luna Abyss. Winning a BAFTA for Best New IP, a Peabody Award for its writing, and several awards for its animation at DICE and elsewhere. No, it won Game of the Year in Canada. How do you think I feel? I'm an Xbox guy, right? Exactly. I love We Happy Few, great game. New CEO saying a lot of good things, but actions speak louder. Dude, for real. 100%. I'm excited for the 2 exclusive Xbox games that they both failed. Oof. Which 2 exclusive? Or what are we talking about? Granting I only play the early versions. Oh, South of Midnight, yeah. Oh, you said We Happy Few. Okay. It was okay, not my cup of tea. They said in an interview that they weren't going to shutter Ninja Theory. By the way, when did they say that? Recently? Things are racist against white people now, misandry. Well, you know, they say that you can't be racist against white people because racism is entirely based on power structures and the people in power cannot be prejudiced. Okay, so here's a fun thing. I looked at this the other day because I was thinking about this. People are like, racism is an entirely European construct and blah, blah, blah. It didn't exist before Europeans and settlers and you know, colonials and all that shit, right? If you Google, when did racism first exist, they will tell you it's within the last 500 years. I'm not even kidding. That is what Google will tell you, is that racism as a form of prejudice didn't exist prior to like the 1500s. I'm like, what the fuck? Give me a break. I think it might have come out around Better Games releasing, subjective as it's say. Yeah, whether you have the power to enforce it or not. Angels, the thing is, the way I look at it is racism is a preference for one race over another. In theory, that's in-group preference, you know, cultural values being taken into consideration, whether it's just based on your skin color, your, you know, where you're from, what tribe you're from. If you prefer your group over another group because of your skin color, because of your, again, your shared culture, that is a form of racism. I prefer my race to your race. That's existed from the dawn of time, man. It's like existed forever. Every racial group has in-group preference. They're not Ubisoft. If Fable flops, it's not going to end their studio. No, probably not. Hey, Mossberg. Yeah, ancient Chinese wanted civilized China. They wanted other. Think about feudal Japan. If you landed on the shores of Japan in the early feudal era, they would try to kill you as fast as they could. They didn't want any outsiders landing in Japan. That wasn't because, oh no, a white person, we're going to kill, we hate all white people. They didn't want anybody there who wasn't Japanese. You know? It wasn't specific to, oh, we only like this or that. No, they wanted nothing but Japanese people there. That is a form of exclusive racism. They preferred Japanese people over anybody else. No outsiders. We're entitled to our own preferences. Yeah, there you go. I claim that I'm a Pannonian FR. I even have the genetic markers to prove, just like almost all of my countrymen, and they can suck my minority dick after that. Oh my god. All right, news comes just hours after the head of Xbox Game Studio, Craig Duncan, stepped down from his role after 18 months. He oversaw Halo Studios, Rare, Obsidian, Ninja Theory, Double Fine, and Compulsion Games, among others. Ironic that those are all studios that he oversaw, seeing as they're also studios that are all up for getting axed. Here's the thing. This is one of those things. Again, I like to do these $70 game, $40 game posts on Twitter after my one that went 12 million impressions and pissed everybody off when I was like, oh yeah, $70 game, right? So I keep doing this from time to time. And so for South of Midnight, I'm like, yeah, $40 game that killed its own studio. And watching gameplay of this game, it reminds me of Forspoken. It reminds me of every other game with all this aerial movement and shit. Basically, we're going to make it as fun and different for you to float in the air as much as possible in the game. The combat's going to be shit. The story's going to be whatever. But it's going to look really cool. It's going to look like Forspoken. And this is the thing. Every time I see this kind of movement in a game, I just think of Forspoken over and over and over again.
And the critters are hiding when mucky swamps and dusty lands colliding.
And I can't believe that I actually have never watched this clip unmuted. I tell you guys all the time, I very rarely unmute Twitter when I'm posting things. What the hell's with the music? I got to play this again. Hang on. Well, it's Spider-Verse animation for a reason, okay? I shouldn't even have to elaborate on that.
Birds fall silent and the critters are hiding when mucky swamps and dusty lands colliding.
Yeah, Lucia, I don't even mind the music as music on its own. But what the hell is it doing right before a boss fight? Well, it's not claymation specifically. It's like I think it was Lugia who said, or somebody said it. Oh no, Kanyo. It's Spider-Verse animation style. Alice kind of jumps like that, and Madness Returns is fantastic. I can't say I've never been a big Alice in Wonderland fan. Yeah, it just feels out of place. And of course, don't forget, it's like, we're going to give this person as many opportunities to get out of the way as possible. Slowest tail swinging animation possible. It's like everything. Oh, Sam, I hate it. I hate that style. Yo, and what's with this? Every game where there's something that's going to fall from the sky and it gives you a little shadow to move, it usually targets you up to a point. This one, it's like, oh no, we're going to have this butthole puckering on the ground over here. You can just stay literally right where you are. You don't even have to move. That's just crazy. Pile Darkhype is the diverse version of Alice Madness Returns, but without the talent. Well, and I guess for a lot of people, they actually said you can turn off the art style. Like, you can just, like, it's supposed to be like, what, claymation? You can actually disable that in the game. I've never seen somebody share gameplay footage of it where it doesn't look like that, like the cinematics and stuff. Oh, the poll's not going well for Xbox. Oh my god. I have an Impala once. I called it Vlad. Oh my god. Vlad the Impala. I love it. Maybe it's easier for those people because they know they can't make anything else but that. I wonder why. Yeah. Spider-Verse animation style as in the FPS or art style? I think, I don't know. I mean, I imagine it's the FPS. Video game music should be instrumental, except maybe cutscenes. Yes, but here's the thing, DB Wild. They know that the boss fights are so lackluster and underwhelming that you don't need to focus on the fight itself. You can just listen to the music and vibe. It's the whole vibe thing, man. You know? And I'm sorry, I mean, some games can have a good vibe and also be an enjoyable game, but I don't play a game for the vibes. I play it for the actual engaging combat, sometimes, the story, music, the effects, all that kind of shit, So again, pointed out by Grums, not endorsing Grums. Can't stand the dude, but it's just a tweet I found. I feel like I should have to clarify since we went through the entire list of people at the beginning of the stream with Yorch and all that shit. I don't like Grums, but it is what it is. Pointing out, again, this was the community manager for Compulsion Games saying, I hate gamers. And of course, announcing that they've joined the amazing team at Compulsion as their new community manager. After spending 9+ years in the gaming space as a content creator. Of course you were. Yeah, actual fraudster. Exactly. No one likes... Okay, well, I'm glad to know that. Oh, racist as hell, indeed. Except you can't be racist against white people, so not racist, technically, right? Again, sarcasm. Not Akira saying, when South of Midnight launched, many gamers pointed out Sweet Baby Inc. involvement. Now the studio behind the game shutting down. Time and again, the gaming industry chooses to ignore what the players actually want instead of focusing on giving us great games. Companies keep chasing trends that follow an agenda that we gamers reject. This is great news overall because we are protesting with our wallets and we are winning this fight. The market has spoken once again and we did it loud and clear. Yeah, again, this was Chris Kindred here, Kim Belair, all them people involved. LARPers out of the gaming industry. There's a lot of them, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, she hates whites and Asians. Yeah, no, we're not just talking like, I shitpost, you shitpost, we all shitpost. It's like she's genuinely like, no, I hate these people. It's like, wow, okay. John, here's the thing. Somebody has to do the job because you can't have developers wasting all of their time running PR as well. But maybe if you're hiring somebody to be the front-facing, the visible person for your company, don't hire somebody with a schedule. Look, don't hire me as your community manager. Someone's going to go through my tweets and go, this guy's racist as hell. This guy says a bunch of fucked up stuff. It's like, yeah, I say stuff because it's shit posting. I think it's funny. I don't take most of what I say seriously on Twitter. But it's like, don't hire me as your social media person. It's pretty simple. But they always hire their friend. They always promote somebody. Like, again, that gal's content creator for 9 years. How much you want to bet that she was part of like Black Girl Gamers or some crap like that, right? It is what it is. It's crazy. Yeah, PR is supposed to protect the IP, not harm it. Exactly. So don't hire somebody for your front-facing person that has a sketchy past, Yo, NS, we were just talking about you a little bit ago. They're half black. I feel like I should go ahead and end this poll. I want to see how bad it is. Let me see. What do we got? Where did it go? Poll closed. I don't see it anywhere. I think it was like 83% no on Xbox. So I guess Xbox is doing a bad job. I don't know. There it is. Things going well at Xbox? No. 83-17. That's crazy. All right. Expedition 33 reportedly cost less than $10 million to make. South of Midnight allegedly cost around $100 million. That's the kind of comparison that should keep executives awake at night, because if a smaller team can make one of the most celebrated games of the year with a fraction of the budget, the problem probably isn't that game needs more money. Yeah. That's insane. $100 million for that game. No room for wokeness saying, imagine thinking this is what gamers want in video games. This is what I want. I need more of this. Give me more of this. More of the shaved side head. Give her another ungodly, hideous outfit. More lesbian love interests. I need more of this. Like, I'm not even kidding. Yes. Jet Neptune the game. Oh my god. I'm telling you guys, I say all the time, I would be a terrible grifter if I really wanted to grift. I would have a hard time doing it because I don't like lying. I don't like begging for money. But if I was ever to call myself a grifter, it'd be over this game. Because as much as I hated it, as much as the game is a piece of shit and the studio deserves to go out of business, I genuinely loved playing it and covering it. It's because Expedition 33 wasn't paying a group of money-hungry activists to ruin their game. 100%, dude. Exactly. Yeah, we need more bowl cut. The historically accurate bowl cut. And the funny part is, people have pointed out that they pretty much could have made this character a little less obnoxious and a little bit prettier, and people would have actually been more receptive to this game. Now, obviously, the SBI involvement was never going to change that. Hiring a woman who didn't sound black enough and then firing her, that's never going to make people want to play your game. But people have done this where they've just done a few face tweaks to this character, got rid of the stupid notch in the eyebrow and shit. And if you then change the personality of the character, you might actually make people want to play your game. Just saying. People don't want to play insufferable cunts in video games. That's just the unfortunate, brutal truth behind it. So you get this guy saying, indeed, no one asked for South of Midnight, and that's precisely what makes it special. If the industry only produced what people already know they want, new franchises would never exist. I've got mixed feelings on this, honestly, because I'm fired. That's sadism. I can't help it, man. Sword fighting while constipated is hard. Yeah, DB, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. On dudes, it just looks gay. On women, it makes them look like a bitch. It's just awful. It's like the side shave. It's like the nose ring. I can't stand it. You know, here's the thing. There is room for creativity, ingenuity, experimenting with new types of games, all sorts of stuff. Like, there's plenty of room for all that, right? You can go to your heart's content and make the game that you truly want, even knowing that nobody wants to play that game. Fine, you can do that. But you also have to accept the fact that you can't spend a fortune, and we'll get into this when we talk about Marathon a little bit here. You cannot spend a fortune on that game knowing that it doesn't have broad appeal, knowing that it doesn't have a large audience that wants to play it. So saying, well, no one asked for a South of Midnight, that's why it's so amazing. Okay, cool. Then why'd you spend $100 million on it, right? Making games is a business. Yes, Lucia, as much as it's an art, as much as we're constantly reminded, video games are an art form. They're a medium of art that you have to understand the creative inspiration. But no, I don't. No, it's a company. I'll pull up. I don't need to bother pulling up the tweet. I'll summarize. I put Eric Kane from Forbes. He was sharing something about this whole video games is a male-dominated hobby thing where people are like, no, it's not only men playing video games, women play too. It's like, we didn't say that. We said it's a male hobby, right? So Eric Kane said something along those lines, and I quote tweeted him and said, here's the thing. When I was a teenager, we did a lot of like the LAN parties. We did a lot of Halo parties, bring TVs and Xboxes to somebody's house, buy a bunch of pizza, sit there for like 8 hours playing Halo. We did that a lot. Okay. That was the best times of your life right there. Playing Halo parties at people's houses. And one time, my old roommate, he and I, we went to a friend of his house to play some games, Xbox, GameCube, all that, Smash Brothers, Halo. And there was a girl there. And it was like, whoa. Game's really good, but everything else isn't. No, the gunplay. Yeah, Sam, the game is fine to play. It just looks like ass, dude. McLovin look. So the thing about it is, there was a girl there, and I remember it was like, I was shocked. Okay, now mind you, I was probably like 16 at the time. I'm trying to think when this was. I didn't have my driver's license yet. I was probably like around 16. And there was a girl. She was cute. She was really good at games. She was a shit talker. I'm like, what is going on? That was crazy, right? Well, nobody said, hey, you're a girl. You can't play video games. Get out of here. But the reason it was so shocking was because video games are a predominantly male hobby, and they always were, right? So it's one of those things where you go, just because something is true doesn't mean it's bad, or doesn't mean that you need to change it. You need to accept the fact that not everything needs to be conformed to what you want it to be. So in terms of like video games being an art form, being creative and ingenuitive and changing, yeah, you can reinvent the wheel if it doesn't ultimately break the bank, or if there's a market for it, or if you can convince enough people to try something. But if you're going to go so far out, no, she wasn't a dude. I only saw her the one time. We hung out for a few hours. No, I didn't fall in love the first time of the day. I had my first crush. I was like 6 years old. I was in first grade. I had my first crush, dude. I crushed hard on that girl. No. So it was like, it's just one of those common sense things. As much as people want to freak out about saying, oh, this is a male hobby, that's so sexist. Well, it's true. It's been a niche for decades, mainly a guy hobby, because the games were mainly, and they were built for men. And back in the day, you were ostracized as a nerd and a loser if you talked about video games in public. That's just reality. So why would girls do that? Why would girls want to do that? Girls aren't real. Girls and birds, neither are real. They're both government spies. So again, saying that, oh, you know, something, just because it's different doesn't mean it shouldn't exist. Okay, but how much are you going to spend on it? You're going to spend $200 million on a game for nobody? Or you're going to spend $400 million on a game for nobody because that's your creative vision? Like, give me a break. It says here, the problem isn't the existence of games like South of Midnight, but Microsoft's inability to turn them into events. Dog, they talked about this game and promoted the hell out of this game. You are full of shit. You create a new IP with its own visual identity, unique setting, and potential to expand the brand's catalog, but you don't invest enough in marketing to create the desire to play it. Dude, fuck this guy. Like, straight up. This game was talked about by everybody. Oh my god. Yeah, hyped up like crazy. That is insane. Come on. Hi-Fi Rush is another example. No one was asking for that game because no one even knew it existed. Even so, it was extremely well received by critics and the public, and became one of Xbox's most praised properties in recent years. If the conclusion is that it's only worth producing sequels and established franchises, the industry enters a cycle where no one creates the next big hit. That's not true. Dude, this is so not true. Look. Yeah, featured on Game Pass. In the same environment where you have an Expedition 33, you also have the next version of Call of Duty or FIFA or NBA game or NFL game. The argument's entirely shit. Just because other games exist to fill, let's say the slop games that come out like Fortnite having a new update, Call of Duty having a new game every other year or whatever. Those games people expect because you know that there's a certain number of people that are just going to consume. You can still have the games for consumption and have games that appeal to a new audience or something that's kind of a niche that hasn't been touched in a while. It doesn't mean that you get to spend $200 million. Again, Expedition 33, $10 million game. Now, nobody would have expected it to blow up like it did, but it didn't need to blow up like it did to be successful. You know? It didn't need to win all those awards to be successful. It just happened to have everything going for it. Exactly, dude. For real, Lucia. People are saying that they're gonna like shadow drop the new God of War game any day now. People are saying with the amount of like promotion, with the amount of people talking about it, the media hype, the account is posting nonstop. They're saying that game's probably gonna get shadow dropped. Hey, truth. Hi-Fi Rush just didn't appeal to the mass audience. That's just the reality. I've never even seen gameplay of it. I've heard about it nonstop, and I just have never. Yeah, there's scooter games where you're a slime girl. Yeah, exactly. With numbers better. Yep. Yeah, Susano, everybody was talking about it. Everyone on Blue Sky, featured on Game Pass, exactly. All right, moving on. Destin Legary saying, Xbox updates on X today, Compulsion shutting down. Treyarch studio head retires. Craig Duncan, head of Xbox Game Studio, steps down. Luis O'Connor, chief of staff, steps down. And rumors of Arcane also getting shut down, on top of Ninja Theory being rumored to shutting down. Also Obsidian. So there was talk. There was talk of another Avowed game, apparently. I had no idea. I played it and it sucked. I don't know Neverform. I've never seen, like I said, I've never seen gameplay of Hi-Fi Rush. I've never been curious enough to look. But apparently, like, the Avowed 2 thing was a thing, and now they're saying that Avowed 2 is going to be canceled because Obsidian might be shut down. Then, of course, going back to some of the horrible games I've played recently, Don't Nod is saying that they're going to run out of money. Now, excuse me. I cannot recall off the top of my head if Sony or my Xbox owns Don't Nod. I can't remember if they're a subsidiary of something else. But I do remember, and yes, I remember greatly because we recently played it, that, again, the makers of Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, Don't Nod, are the ones who made Aphelion. Another absolute dog crap, worthless, abysmal game that never needed to exist and only existed because of government money. That was it. You liked Avowed? Unfortunately, not enough people did, and there was a lot of the controversy about the art director and people behind it. Yeah, Evacuate. Oh, man. Aphelion. Yeah, dude, honestly, screw this game, man. It was so bad. So bad. And it's funny because I think Wise Ass Duck was saying if you get to the end of the game, it actually has a really cool conclusion and stuff. All right, Empress. I probably will be getting to bed soon here. So I'll send everybody your way when I'm done. You play as female Obama. Yeah, I mean, I think Wise Ass Duck was one that was saying that the actual conclusion of the game, the story is really interesting, but it's that the gameplay is so bad, you have to get to that point where you're willing to get to it, and it's just that the game itself is so miserable, you know? Play as Michael Obama. That's not nice. It's Big Mike. You know, Capcom used to be this way until they decided to keep everything in-house, and boy, did it work out for them. Honestly, it makes total sense, though, that Don't Nod has made so many terrible games. This Don't Nod, this Bloom and Rage game, I can't even like imagine how bad it was to play through. They're talking about bad games that I'm willing to play. Ex Voto is the example of a bad game I'm willing to play. A game like this, I could never force myself to play this shit. Not in a million years. So another one that people have mentioned, Double Fine, I think we talked about this at the beginning of the stream, is another one of these ones that I don't know much about. In fact, let's check and see if I'm blocked yet. I'm not blocked yet. I quote tweeted and I'm like, am I supposed to be blocked by these guys because I'm not blocked and everybody else I know is? Vera played that shit. Of course she does. Vera plays bad games. I can't. I cannot make myself do it. Oh, Bloom and Rage was way too unappealing. It was like Life is Strange with fat, ugly chicks. It's like, oh boy, you take a game that's already not for everybody and you make it uglier and fatter. Like, okay. Oh, what a crazy idea. Wild. So, Double Fine. Apparently the ones that made Psychonauts. A game I know of, never played. And Brutal Legend. When their Twitter account, though, says find us on Blue Sky and Instagram, that tells you all you need to know. So Pirate Nation here shares, woke studio Double Fine has addressed reports of its shutdown with a simple emoji. That's what this tweet here meant. The little nervous emoji here. Double Fine worked with Anita Sarkeesian on Psychonauts 2 and said her feedback helped the team spot things they hadn't considered and avoid unintended messages. He said this helped them make the game better while keeping it just as fun and enjoyable for more people. Yeah, so this is another one, though, that's a Xbox company. So, I mean, to be fair, I know that Xbox is obviously fucked up a lot lately. It could be that they're actually making some smart decisions here, even if it's reactionary or just like a long time coming at this point. She looks Ashkenazi. She probably is. You want to get blocked by Double Fine? Ask him about the next stable version of Space-Based DF9. What the hell is that? The Jack Black game? Tim Schafer was the reason Mixtape got released and he's the CEO. Benita Sarkeesian. Oh my god. This Emerald Apple account saying Double Fine is another Xbox Microsoft game studio that's at risk of getting chopped. They're negotiating to spin off as an independent studio if they can find a buyer, and it's pretty unlikely they'll survive. Even if they do, they're going to lay off almost everyone. I think that's just the reality for most of these. Then you got Pirate Nation saying reports suggest that layoffs have begun at ZeniMax Media with studios such as Bethesda, id Software, Arcane, and Machine Games potentially affected. Microsoft has not commented publicly, and the full scale of the cuts remains unknown. George Broussard, co-founder of 3D Realms and Apogee, said on social media, getting word that layoffs at ZeniMax have begun. He added, I've heard rumblings recently that the cuts may be much deeper than you'd expect. Devolver Digital is the worst publisher people aren't aware of. I've heard a lot about Devolver Digital. They've done a lot of work with Anita Sarkeesian, haven't they? When the hell did Double Fine become a Microsoft studio? What the hell did I miss? I mean, Avernum, I imagine it was in the last 5 years when, I mean, you guys remember when PlayStation and Microsoft were competing to, you know, buy as many studios as they possibly could. Bye, Todd. You're going to see him on the last day walking out with his severance saying, it just works, you know? His golden parachute is going to be amazingly large. ZeniMax. So, hang on. You guys are going to have to help me out here. Bethesda and id, they're the easy ones. What Arcane, Machine Games? I'm not sure what these studios actually made. The media hates Xbox. They're literally naming every Xbox studio. 16 times the parachute. Yeah, Devolver is an interesting one because I know that they've made good games. But Todd's not going anywhere? Oh, Arcane made Prey, okay. But they also made Redfall. Interesting. All more proof that the trailer for Elder Scrolls 6 that came out in 2018 is all we're going to get. I would say possibly. Machine Games make... Oh, they're one of the ones that makes Call of Duty. Okay. Yeah, I know that there's a few different developers for the different Call of Duty franchises. You got to remember, I've played a few Call of Duties. I'm not a big Call of Duty fan. It's not my favorite preferred type of shooter. There's a few that are fine. Wolfenstein, okay. It's clear she's closing down all the woke studios and made failed games. Xbox has been reported to have been subsidized for over 2 decades. They haven't made enough money to pay their own bills. Dishonored, Prey, and Deathloop. Now, Deathloop's a weird one. Deathloop is one that I know came out like peak wokeness era. And again, it was one that had like 2 lead black characters in the game, like a black man and a black woman. You didn't hear much about it at the time, having like wokeness or whatever, just for having like 2 black characters. But I wonder who what the thought process was when that game came out, like the people behind it, you know? Deathloop was silly. It was fire. So maybe that was like one of the last few games that wasn't like a DEI game before all the most recent big pushes then. I never thought it looked interesting enough to bother playing it myself. Let me see. Devolver publishes everything they can. They have good games and a crap ton of weird ones. That sounds like, yeah, your average big publisher, right? What else we got here? Oh, here you go. Not anything worth talking about. Furry ARPG Crystal Fall is shutting down just a few months after launching in early access. Developer CRG Studio announced the game's online servers will close on July 16th through an offline single-player version will remain available. Before release, the game had over 120,000 wishlists and more than 72,000 demo downloads. In its announcement, the studio said, "Despite our best efforts, we have not been able to grow and maintain a player base large enough to sustain development." Oh my god, your furry ARPG didn't work out. If YouTube were smart, they would run a silent ad instead of muting you. Dude, I hate that feature on YouTube. It pisses me off enough when Twitch does it, but YouTube, I hate it when that happens. Sledgehammer Games, that was the COD dev I was thinking of. Machine Games did Wolf. Okay. I was thinking, I'm like, I know that I'm not a big Call of Duty guy, but I didn't associate Machine Games with Call of Duty. Sledgehammer, I know. Sledgehammer, Treyarch, yeah. I don't know if there was DEI in Deathloop or not. Didn't stand out if there was. That's what I'm saying, Susano. That game might have just come out before that was really a heavy push, like an emphasis in the games. I just find it funny because that game did come out, I think, you know, around the same time that a lot of this bullshit was going on. And I don't remember any controversy about it at all. So, I don't know. The end is here. I'm dancing. I mean, never form. It's seeming that way. I'm not going to believe it till I see it. Let me see here. What else we got? All right. We're going to end off with this one here. Reports suggest that Bungie could face major layoffs this summer. Oh, yes, it's going to happen. But they did have a paywall gun called Eat the Rich. Oh, my God. Dude, I don't even look at that stuff as being a coincidence anymore. I'm sorry. I don't. According to French journalist Sylvain Trinel, as many as 50% of the studio's employees, including full-time and contract workers, could be affected. Bungie reportedly had around 800 employees after previous layoffs. And you got to remember, keep in mind, Bungie a year ago had to downsize from, I think it was over 13 or 1,400 employees down to what they have now. Okay. So they already cut like 600 jobs. All right. Now they're going to cut that in half, apparently. The reported cuts are linked to the end of Destiny 2's development and problems surrounding Marathon. This has not been confirmed by Bungie or Sony, nor will it be until it finally happens. Oh my God, this is a beautiful meme right here. Bungie won't even try to make up excuses anymore. They just stare at you like this. Oh my God, that is beautiful. Yeah, it was just mid. The game, like I said, if it was all entirely based on the gunplay and maybe some of the story, if you really cared about like the lore side of it, I'd say the game's like a 7. But looking at it with both the visuals of the characters themselves, all the bright neon, and then the inventory and UI, that took it down like a 6 for me, maybe like a 5. I had zero desire at all to ever go back and play Marathon. And I only played it during the server slam. But it just was not for me. So Jez Corden, my bad. If it's true that Bungie will lose 400 staffers, that's more than Ninja Theory, Compulsion, and Double Fine combined. Before you consider the tons of other studios closed over the last few years, what's the solution here? This is the solution literally they showed us last year. I mean, Hades 2, I'm not a fan of the people that made it, because again, they had all that bullshit DEI crap with Sweet Baby Inc. as well, I'm pretty sure. But like, the game was successful. There's no question about that. Yeah, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Expedition 33. I think what their point, though, is more than just like what kind of game it is. Small budget games, you know? Get off my screen. Oh my god. The story was only shown during faction missions, which were grinding as hell, and it was just not interesting at all. Yeah, fair enough. Eat the Rich Tribunal, just to put it more on point. Oh, okay, okay. Maybe if it wasn't a health hazard with its seizure-inducing UI design, right? Yeah. So, again, I think the entire thought process is, if you want the industry to succeed, maybe get back to making games, first off, that are meant for gamers, that appeal to things that gamers like, i.e., you know, tough dudes, good stories, hot women, big guns, good soundtracks. Don't try to like break the bank on your effects. I mean, look, we all like things that look nice, right? But you want a game that runs well, that has a good story, good gameplay, good characters, more so than like the highest fidelity graphics you can imagine. I don't give a shit. And look, that game Fate Keeper, actually for being such a beautiful looking game, ran incredibly well. Granted, it was only early access, right? We haven't seen the full game yet. But I would give up 90% of like the graphical fidelity of all these games if they just were fun, looked good, played well, and didn't try to preach at me. I don't need something that has like the most detailed, you can cut through all these bamboo trees and all these blades of grass. And I don't care. I do not care. You know? I don't view spending as being the levels required to fix the problems. Big old titties. Yeah. I mean, truth, it's like, it's just make good games. The audience shouldn't be gamers. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem, is they've been making games for people who aren't gamers. And you guys know, I'm the one here who's like, I don't need my games to be like big titty goth chicks all the time, but I'm not going to complain if they're there. They just need to fit the game that they're in, you know? Large milk cannons. My net's lagging. Some jackass broke my fiber line, so I have been tethering. Oh my god, Wagon Burner. Go get that fixed, man. That's okay. We're going to wrap up here in a little minute, in a few minutes anyways. But thanks for hanging, dude. We really just don't want to be preached to. Most modern games push an agenda first and story. Most of the time, it doesn't matter. So here's the thing, Onyx. I think you're very much correct about that. The whole Luna Abyss game, going back to that previous... No, the game wasn't amazing, but I was genuinely having a decent time with it. For a indie game that I got a free copy of, that I didn't have to spend $30 on, and by the way, that game, it shouldn't be a $30 game. I'm sorry. Even if the game didn't have the they, them shit in it, $20 game, maybe. $30 is a bit steep for that game. But that being said, if it just had not gone into the weird they, them shit and then everything else that confirmed exactly what the game was trying to represent and push, it could have been a decent game that I would have been like, hey, fun game, cool, awesome, you know? But unfortunately, they just can't help themselves. When the opportunity is there to, again, to push what they want to see in games, because they're not gamers, they're not game developers, they're ideological activists is what they are. Later, Wagon Burner. They just can't help themselves, you know? It's like a monkey with a machine gun. You can't trust them. Self-insert from the voice actor as well. Yes, yes. So it pisses me off. I wanted to yell at Smash on his emergency stream he did yesterday. I'm in the chat, and I'm trying to get his attention. So Smash was doing his segment that he records, and then he goes and talks to the chat afterwards. And I'm like sitting here silently screaming, I'm like, Smash, you have yet to talk about the voice actress, all this other stuff. I'm like, the voice actress... The non-binary voice actress who was from the Witcher series, casted by the people who do all this non-binary casting and shit, the exact same reason she was cast for Luna Abyss is because she herself is non-binary. Like, it's completely a self-insert, you know? Yeah, oh, Susano, it's terrible. And the whole thing is, it's the voice actors that is the primary issue. It's the writers and the voice actors that, again, do I think that they're like sitting behind like the curtain, rubbing their hands together, like colluding? I don't think it's that deep. I think they all just know each other. It's that simple, you know? So the reality is, voice actors are all freaking woke-ass libtards, and all the script writers are pretty much the same way, and they go, huh, I'm going to cast Erika Ishii. I'm going to cast this person here because I know this person, they're going to bring whatever it is that their real-world experiences, their trauma they live through, they're going to bring their authentic queer experience to my story. And sure enough, here comes the voice actor, unable to shut the fuck up, and they're ready to inject whatever it is they think into the character. And that's why so many times you see authentic voice casting, which just means we're going to hire somebody who's not straight to play a character who's not straight, you know? It's just crazy. As I said, the same people who looked down on us for our hobbies back in the day are now ruining them within the industry. Yeah. Yeah, Mossberg, exactly. So it's yeah. It's frustrating, dude. It's frustrating because they'll tell you it's not happening. They'll tell you it's not a real thing, but it's a real thing. Anyways, from Paul Tassi. Paul Tassi, who I find this hilarious. I've said before, I'll say it again. Watching him cover the death of Bungie, of death of Destiny, death of Marathon, it's like watching somebody realizing if I keep making negative content, I'm going to keep getting more views and make more money, and I'm getting addicted to it, right? Oh, Neverform, she's disgusting. I'm sorry, she's nasty. And, you know, Paul Tassi has everybody, all the grifters blocked on Twitter. He's got all of us blocked, all the YouTubers, all the angry gamers, chud incels. He's got us all blocked because he's not on our side. But it's funny watching him post more to YouTube, more of the negative coverage, try to go into his videos saying, no, guys, I know it's another negative marathon video. I'm sorry. It's like, no, dude, you're not sorry. You're enjoying this. You are becoming everything that you hate. And I love watching it. I bet he hasn't blocked George. Dude, I would rather sit down and have a conversation with Paul Tassi any day than even think about talking to fucking Yorch, okay? Screw Yorch, dude. No way. Anyways, Marathon Season 2 and Free Week did not turn things around. So I don't even need to go through the whole article here, guys. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty simple. Marathon did this thing where they had the free week on all the platforms. Every platform. Now, keep in mind, we already know, because of reporting from Paul Tassi, talking to Bungie and everything else, they confirmed that 70% of the player base for this game, on a game that hasn't sold 2 million copies across all platforms, is PC players. And that's all through Steam. Nobody plays anything on computer but through Steam. I mean, no one uses Epic. Let's be real, okay? So, you don't want to be a part of the actually based gamers? No, never form. I would rather nobody ever calls me based ever again, you know? They're trying to hide DEI and the non-DEI content. Now, for real, dude. That's 100% it. All of them are on the same boat. That industry's completely gatekept with their shitty unions. Yeah. So, if you go and just look a couple weeks ago, let's go back. Let's look 1 month. All right. So here was Free Week. All right. The peak for Free Week was 40,000 players. I know I'm the only one I know using Epic. I mean, Susano, I've got a few hundred games. I have a few hundred games on Epic that I'll probably never play, man. Fine, Cage, whatever, I'm based. Yes, Paul, Feel the Darkness Flow 3. Dude, I'm telling you, all it's going to take is for him to piss off the wrong person, and then he's going to join the chuds, you know? Back to the bottom again. Dude, I cannot believe how quickly this thing plummeted. Yeah, but Smeg, do you play those games? Because I do the same thing. I just checked Epic earlier today, make sure there wasn't a free game that I might want one day. But I don't ever play a single one of those. Not a single one's installed on my computer. I have one Epic game that I've ever played, and it was one of the first PC games I ever had when I built my computer because I got it for free with my graphics card. That's it. Well, you're Australian, Smeg. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, Neverform, fair enough. You do have to use Epic to use Unreal. So that makes sense. I'd use Epic if only their launcher wasn't complete garbage. Yeah. Don't call me base sounds like something a base person would say. Fair enough. Fine. It's just there. Yep. Exactly. How the times changed since that post. Oh my god. Hang on. You send it on Discord? Let me see. What is this? The gaming community is way better thanks to all these legendary men and women who stand for fun and beauty over corporate greed and political activism. Wait. How long ago was this? Dude, this was before he knew JDA. Oh my god, he's got Endymion on here. He's got Smash. He's got Master of the TDS. He's got Riding Raven, TDS's wife. Kata V, J Viper. Oh my god. He's got Savvy on here. Holy crap. Yo, that's crazy. Crazy how times change, man. That's insane. Oh my god, you can't make fun of a country you think doesn't exist. Fine. Neverform, he's not gay. He's not retarded. He's just a piece of shit. Yorch is just, when I say he has no ethics, no morals, nothing, I mean it. And I'm not talking about like, you know, he thinks murder's fine. I'm not saying like serious moral issues. I'm talking about like when it comes to his own beliefs or whatever. Nothing he talks about on Twitter is anything he truly believes. It's just whatever he thinks is good for clicks. Me, there's usually going to be some sense of truth in what I'm posting, even if I'm shit posting. You know? That's why I said don't hire me to represent your company. But yes, so here was your free week. So leading into free week, the high was 13,850 players on Steam. That was it for your 24-hour peak. Jumped up to 40,000 players. All right. All the way back to where we are now. This doesn't count here. This was when the servers went offline. But this right here, under 4,000 players. Just cracks me up, dude. For real truth, exactly. You gave up on that so quickly, I don't give a shit, and you should banter back. You gotta understand, man. I'm so tired. I can't believe I'm still streaming right now. I remember the Marathon Takeover smug hype on X. Oh, Mossberg, that shit was insane. That was the craziest thing. And that was honestly the part that pisses me off the most, is you had so many people. I was one of those suckers and I hated it. You had so many people who were like, "Oh, this is the Arc Raiders killer." Okay, look, let's do a side by side. Let's talk about it. I haven't touched Arc Raiders in months, and I loved Arc Raiders. I talked about Arc Raiders before the game launched. I talked about how there was natural hype for the game, how it was going to do really well, and sure enough, it did. Arc Raiders made a shitload of money. Okay, I haven't touched it in months. I just haven't, and a lot of people haven't either. The peak was 481,000. Now it's down to 22,000 people playing it. But it still has 51,000 for a 24-hour peak, and this game has massive players, amount of players on console as well, you know? Now, I don't know if it's the 70-30 split like what, we have with Marathon. I assume Arc Raiders is going to be more console-friendly, just based on the gameplay itself. Yeah, I just don't have time to play. Right, Joe Darkness? I don't know. It's kind of like I put 100-something hours into Arc Raiders, which for me, if I have a game that I put 100 hours in, that's a lot of hours for me, you know? Marathon Steam Forum gives me enjoyment. It really does. I met the Marathon players. Those people are just pathetic. Go look at the Steam forums on them crashing out. Oh my god. You'd play if it was free never forum? See, I actually suspected being free to play wouldn't fix a thing, and sure enough, it didn't. Because the game has been on sale multiple times. How's Crimson Desert doing? Good question. Curious to see that. Crimson Desert. Oh yeah, the hype died down for that game. Granted, I haven't touched this game in 2 months, I think. Man. You know the crazier thing about this? Crimson Desert is down to 24,000 right now. And this game actually has a lot of players around the world playing this game. And most people haven't gotten out of the first stage, area, chapter, whatever you want to call it, of the game, like the actual first area. It's insane, dude. So I don't know if it's... When are you going 100% Elden Ring? Never. So Elden Ring, I put, I think 140 hours. Pretend you don't see this one right here. Well, you can barely see it. Closed beta. I'm doing the closed beta for God Save Birmingham in 5 days. I don't know if I can tell you guys how it is or not. I have to wait and see. NDA shit and all that. What was I looking for? Elden Ring. I was looking for Elden Ring. Hang on. Elden Ring, I put 169 giggity hours in. Now, that was just the main game plus part of the DLC. I've got 32 out of 42 achievements. Keep in mind, I'm not an achievement hunter, so that's just things I did in the game. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to 100% the game. I already messed up. Check Palworld. I played Palworld. Oh, you mean on Steam. Yeah, I played Palworld on Game Pass. I don't even know. I probably put like 10 hours into that, but let me check Palworld. Yeah, it's doing, I'd say, comparable to like Arc Raiders, despite having a much bigger peak. 2.1 million people 2.4 years ago. That's insane. Took 250 hours before you got 100%. I'm not going to 100% the game. Sam, you got to understand. So, Elden Ring, I played when it first came out, when I was having my Crohn's flare up and I was dying. I actually took like 2 months away from streaming because I was having such a bad time with my Crohn's issue where I ended up in the hospital. The only thing I was doing was playing Elden Ring, and I wasn't streaming it. I bought the game, I pre-ordered it to stream, and that's when my life went to shit, right? And so when that happened, it's like, well, I'm just going to play the game. And so I beat the game, and then I got the DLC, like 2 years ago when it came out, and I'm most of the way through it. You know, I'm on the last chapter of Expedition 33. I'm on like the final stage of a few other games. I don't know. I got to get around to finishing them. I did twice, first on Xbox, then again when I bought Shadow of the Erdtree on Steam. Yeah, Shadow of the Erdtree is a cool expansion. I just haven't finished it yet. Constant hype going on because of the Nintendo BS. Dude, Power World has an infinite like hype loop because of all the coverage of people like Fratanga and shit covering all the Pokemon lawsuit and all that. Check Mistfall Hunter. What the hell is Mistfall Hunter? Why do I know that name? Mistfall Hunter. Well, there's only a followers chart. There's not an actual like, oh, free demo available. Let's try Mistfall Hunter demo. Where's the demo at? Here we go. 16,000 for a demo. That's not bad. Is this game any good? Let me pull this up here. Hang on. What game do I have the most hours in? I'll show you in a minute.
It began with the Mistfall. We lost everything. Stripped of our armor. We were exiled into endless night.
Demon Daddy.
The temples crumbled.
No, it's not Warframe.
The last bells tolled.
I'm actually curious about Soulframe. I'm really curious about Soulframe. It looks really good, and I loved Warframe.
The nightmare.
And I know the devs are woke as fuck, I know. Yeah, Joe, mine's not even that bad now.
But how could we
medicated? I'm actually fine, but there's still issues from time to time, you know.
Whatever horrors we face.
The game blows. Oh man, that's not good.
Must make our stand.
That's a big bust. Oh no, I wouldn't be expecting Warframe. Titties, yeah.
This withered
I wonder if this is a create your own character situation.
I will be the light that pierces the endless night.
Huh. I mean, that actually looks interesting. I'll give him 20 bucks because boobs. Oh my god. What's with games being so close to the character needs a FOV slider to some distance? I mean, you're probably having flashbacks from when we were doing Mortal Shell the other night, right? I'll throw this on my wish list just to keep an eye on. So, okay. One of the things I was thinking about when I first saw this, I'm like, is this going to be another one of these situations? And this is not to shit on the dev. There's a guy on Twitter who has been... I don't know if he's like a solo dev or if he's actually working with somebody else. Like a team. I think this is the name of the game, Luminary. I think is it. Okay, yeah, it's Luminary. All right, so this is one of those guys I've seen on Twitter talking about his game, trying to promote his game. It comes up often when it's like, oh, you don't like this? Well, try my game, right? And it's one of those ones, he's actually liked a lot of my posts on Twitter. It's like, I'm sure he's a cool dude, but I've seen the clips of his game going around. It's like, I can't, I've played enough bad games. I can't justify what I'm seeing sometimes, you know? So when I first watched that clip from that other game that you just had me look at, I was wondering if it was going to look like this, you know? Now, granted, I think he's described this as a cozy game, but like ARPG light. You know, and yes, the characters have big racks, and that's a good thing, right? But like, what's the actual game like? Needs work, yeah. And I don't know how long it's going to be cooking. I've watched actual gameplay, and it just, I don't know. Like I said, I've played too many bad games. I've played too many bad indie games that rely too heavily on like pre-made assets and AI to fill in everything else. Depends on the cost. Yeah, I don't know. Play as the bald heretic lesbian. There you go. Looks like a mobile game. Yeah. I mean, I might check out the demo on this at some point, but for me, the game just looks too simple. Too dumbed down, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. I mean, I'm sure the guy intends for it to be a good game. I just don't personally know that it looks like something I'd want to play. Not bad for an indie. It would pay $7 max. Yeah. Yeah, if it's not one guy, it's not bad. It's not that I'm saying that it's bad. It just looks too simple. I don't know. I don't know another way of framing it, of phrasing it. Let me see. There's one other one I was thinking about checking. Somebody mentioned one. It reminds me of Enshrouded. Yeah, I mean, Enshrouded is one that I've looked at a few times. Let me see here. Follow Asian devs and plan on contracting them in a few years for specific solo dev. Yeah, solo dev can be a lot. I'm sure it can be a lot. No wow factor. Well, and that's where I say, I'm like, is it just because the assets are too just like standard UE5 pre-made asset kind of shit? Simple is fine as long as you're having fun. It is, but I mean, let me tell you something about that. For example, there's a game that I got a copy of, again, Keymailer, indie games, that I checked out a long time ago called Lens, what is it? Lens Island here, okay? Lens Island is like your typical survival crafting cozy game, all right? And I hate cozy games. You gotta understand, I despise cozy games. Cozy games for me are not something I want to waste my time playing. If you can't die, at least if it's really difficult to die, I don't want to play it, right? So this game is kind of like that. It's a very simple survival crafting type game. And so for me, like games like this, I'm just like, again, looks like a mobile game. There's no real draw for me. Why would I waste my time playing it, you know? You like Lens? I don't know. See, for me, I just couldn't make myself really care to play it. Cage, all of three of my... This is the crazy thing. I thought Stardew Valley was going to have more appeal for my daughter. My 13-year-old son and my 11-year-old twin boy and girl, they are all obsessed with Stardew Valley. Like, all of them are obsessed with it. It's crazy. Like, my boys are like hardcore sweats at Stardew Valley. Like, stacking up cash and shit, I guess. I don't know. Played it when it didn't have co-op. I mean, I got the key to this game years ago when it first came out. Like a while back. It says 2025, but I'm pretty sure I got a key for it like a year before the game actually came out. It was a lot harder. Oh, I don't even know. To me, it just seemed like a typical cozy game. Graveyard Keeper, I think you've talked about that one before. Oh, I know about Sword and Slippers. Probably won't be a game that I'll ever play. Hope the game does well. Sword, is it with the and sign here? Let me see. Where is that at? I never use that one. I gotta be careful what we're looking up here. Or is it Sword and Slippers? Dude, they don't even have a Steam page, it looks like. That's crazy. If you're into the gameplay at least, I don't know. All right, so to answer Angel's question, me, the fake gamer that I am, the game that I have the absolute most hours in on Steam. Now, mind you, I've only been a PC gamer for a whopping, 5 or 6 years. My Steam library at one point didn't have many games. Played a lot on Game Pass the last couple of years. A lot. Most of what I played on computer was through PC Game Pass. I think Insurgency is still the game I have the most hours on, at 383 hours. Next up would be Valheim. Valheim's, I think, over 340. I think that's what it is. Let me check. Obviously, Warframe is up there. Where the hell is Valheim at? Yeah, 340 hours on Valheim. I've got Mad Max. I've never played it. I've got a shit ton of games that I've never played. Mad Max is underrated. Maybe I'll check it out at some point. Titanfall 2 or Team Fortress 2, 7,000 hours. That's crazy. 548 on Steam with 350 on Epic. I've got probably like, I don't know, 300 on Epic, and I, honest to God, never play a single one of them. No, I think you could check by, hang on. How do you sort by hours? I think I have to go to my profile. Let me see here. Games. Recently played, playtime. Okay, so playtime. You got Insurgency, Valheim, Warframe at 230 hours. And you also have to remember I started over on Warframe. I actually started on Xbox previously, and then I switched to Steam and had to redeal my whole account. Elden Ring was 169 hours. Apex Legends, 147, and this is only with my kids. I don't play this shit on my own. Arc Raiders, 126. Mountain Blade Bannerlord, 108 hours. I'm surprised it's actually that much. 0 achievements. Now, I don't think they had achievements when I started playing the game. Starship Troopers Extermination, 105 hours. It should be more than that. That's a great game. I put 42 hours in the first Kingdom Come Deliverance. Again, Among Us, only play with my kids. I actually hate the game. Phasmophobia is only 40 hours, and I bought that game when it first came out. That's crazy. Yeah, Conan Exiles, yeah. Valheim for me, though, that's if I'm going to play a survival game, it's going to be Valheim. Love that game. Mad Max is good. I'll have to check that game out. I've always heard good things about like Conan Exiles and stuff as well. So, dude, 7 Days to Die. I used to watch this streamer, and he was always playing games like Minecraft, 7 Days to Die, all the games that you could mod and customize and building all that shit. And he was insane at 7 Days to Die. And so I always wanted to play it. It was kind of like Escape from Tarkov for me. It's like, oh, this game looks great. I want to play this game. It's like, oh no. Playing this game on my own versus watching somebody play it, not the same thing, right? That was 7 Days to Die for me. And also playing it by myself, I couldn't do. So that being said, hang on a second. Rev covered Luna Abyss. He probably plugged my video. I'm gonna redirect you guys over to Empress's channel. All right, where are we at here? Y'all, the brain is officially fried, like hardcore fried. Okay. Customization, redirect. I just need to set this up ahead of time. There we go. I have played through Conan Exiles numerous times. It's one of my guilty pleasure games. Yeah, they've got sex mods. Dude, I mean, doesn't the base game have like full-on like genitalia and shit? Same for me for Forza. I love to watch but can't play it. Yeah. Later, Cage. No, there are games like that where you go, this game looks like a lot of fun. It looks great. I can't believe this game, I haven't played this yet. And then you play it and you go, this isn't good. Or the game's good, but you know that you're not any good at it. It makes it a lot less fun. Yeah, full-blown nudity, yeah. How do they treat that shit for like streaming anymore? I rarely would stream a game where that comes up, but like if you're playing a game and it's not something outside of like the normal rating for a game and your stream is rated mature, they don't like flag your account for that kind of shit, right? I mean, obviously you play like a hentai game, you're going to have a whole separate set of issues. They have a streamer mode. It's been so long since I've even had to worry about that. That's crazy. Try and get a Stellar Blade shirt. Oh my God. All right. Hey guys, I'm going to hit the hay. I probably won't have another stream this week. Maybe on Saturday night if I'm not too exhausted after working. But most players turn the nudity off. I would probably do the same thing, 100%. You all have been incredible. I feel so awful every time I have to cancel a stream. So not streaming Monday, I was really not happy. Not getting any videos made, I was really pissed off about that too. And I know you guys don't care. You guys are like, dude, it's whatever. Go deal with real life, and I get it. But you know, I enjoy this. So this is one of those things. It's not just about like, oh, but I need to get views and subscribers and money. No. It's I generally have a great time doing this. And for me, if I can't do this, it sucks. And I know, deal with real life first and all that, and family comes first, and paying the bills and all that shit. I get it. I'm right there with you guys. It's just I don't want to be that guy that's like, okay, see you, bye. Anyways, guys, you need to stream every day just for us. Dude, if I could, I would. And if it was one of those things where I thought it was a safe career to have, I would try it. But I can't risk that shit right now. Maybe when my kids are all out of the house and it's just me and the wife, maybe I'll be that old guy that streams during the day and like shares pictures of his cats or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, guys, y'all have been awesome. Appreciate the hell out of y'all. And y'all. Okay, wow. Apparently I'm also retarded. I think it's because I need sleep. All right, guys, later.